pursuit of defining success started with a lot of struggle. I realized the main reason I was failing in my life was because of my old patterns, unresourceful behaviors that were deep seated in my brain. I decided to break free from all that was holding me back. I dived deeper in research to
పడలేదురా నీకు
understand the
చెప్పురా
human
సెల్
brain.
పరుచుకుంటావు చూసుకుంటావు.
As a doctor, for the past 23 years, I have implemented my research on myself and more than 50,000 people. I have perfected a system that increases focus, productivity, and energy overall, resulting in improved health, beautiful relationships, and growing bank balance. My students achieve success in under 6 months, what usually takes people 15 years. I'm on a mission to transform 10
ఇక్కడ
million
దీంట్లో స్క్రీన్
lives,
రికార్డింగ్ ఉందా?
and I truly believe you are one of them. If you are like me, you
ఆప్షన్
know
సర్చ్ చేయాలంటే
you
ఎట్లా?
have a lot to offer to the world,
ఆప్షన్స్
and the time is now.
ఇక్కడ ఉంది కదా స్క్రీన్ రికార్డింగ్. అది రికార్డ్ చేసింది రేపు.
Hello and welcome everyone to Ultimate Success Builder Masterclass. If you can see me, if you can hear me, could you please give me a big hi in the chat box? Kupuswami, Sita Lakshmi, Lambodaran, Sweta, Nehal, Srirang, Krieg, Nathan, Arib, Sitaraman, Nikita, Hamisini, Nadeem, Shailaja, Sneha, R.H. Rao, Pankaj, Ketki, Gautam, Kishore, Virat, Siddharth, congratulations each one of you for joining me on this masterclass, Ultimate Success Builder. You know what? In this entire world, there are 8 billion plus people, and there are only 3% people, those who invest their time and money, their energy into upgrading themselves, changing their lives, taking the responsibility of working on themselves. And you are one of them. What a lovely way to start your journey of going inwards to identify what's happening inside you, how to rewire your brain so that you can achieve the success that you desire. So take your right hand out, everyone. Take it up and pat your back. Pat your back, come on. Give yourself that patting on the back, and where it will be really, really amazing for you to start understanding from today that what is exactly stopping you in your life. You are just going to focus on yourself and what do you need to take out from this workshop, this masterclass, where you can start changing your own life. Does that make sense? Type MS in the chat box if it makes sense. That your full focus for the next few hours are going to be on what I'm teaching. So keep your notepads ready so that you can start writing down what is required to change your life. Yeah. So you know what? There is a significant difference between an ordinary person and an extraordinary person. Between a person who initiates and finishes. And the difference between an ordinary and extraordinary is ordinary starts but does not finish. Extraordinary starts and reaches to the finish line. How many of you agree with me? If you today learn to become a finisher in your life, your 60-70% problems will evaporate on its own. Type I in the chat box if you agree with me. Right? So when do you want to be a finisher?
కాలు పట్టుకుంటా.
Today, tomorrow, day after, or now? Now, right? This is because we don't know. We always promise ourselves that tomorrow onwards I'll do this. But you never end up doing it. Correct? Because how many of you here have challenges with procrastination? Type P in the chat box. How many of you here have challenges with anxiety? Type A in the chat box. How many of you have challenges with overthinking? Type O in the chat box. How many of you, whenever you start to take action, fears come up? Type F in the chat box. How many of you feel you're always confused when it comes to taking the right decisions for yourself? Type C in the chat box. What if today I tell you, thank you for sharing, thank you. What if today I tell you that none of these problems are actually your problems? They are just the symptoms, they're not the real reasons. See, as a doctor, I want to explain you this in a very simple way. Have you ever had fever in your life? You had fever in your life, right? And when fever comes, what do? You take the medicine to reduce the fever. Uh, you take the medicine for 2-3 days, and still the fever keeps coming back again and again. So, what do? You go to the doctor. When you go to the doctor checks you, identifies an infection that's there in the body, and then treats the infection. The moment the infection is treated, fever never comes back. Yes or no? Right? We all have that experience. So your procrastination, your anxiety, your fears, confusions, overthinking, perfectionism, all of these are like that fever. It's just a symptom. And you try to fix the symptom by to-do list, alarms, and God knows how many apps you download to change your habits. You try to put sticky notes, you try to tell people to remind you to change your life. But that doesn't happen. You keep going back to the same old habits and patterns. Yes or no? That is because you're not actually addressing the real problem. And unless and until you address the real problem, things are not going to change in your life. So let's not take this masterclass as one of the other webinars that you have attended in the past, where you're looking at the superficial things that do these 3 things to change your life. That doesn't happen. You have to identify where is the real problem, and when you identify the real problem, then you start working on that solution. Making sense, everyone? Type MS in the chat box if it makes sense. Fantastic. Now, for us to seamlessly go through this experience of this masterclass and learn a lot, I want to set some ground rules for you and me so that we can go through the class with, effortlessly. You learn a lot and we understand a lot of things. So is that okay with you? Shall we go through a certain set of agreements so that we don't get disturbed and we continue with the class effortlessly? Thank you, Harshraj, Shisha, Jindra, Hansini. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's go to the first one. I know a lot of you will have questions, and these questions I would love to address. But is it okay if I take the question answer at the end of the class? Because a lot of your questions will be answered anyway during the class. And these questions that you will ask me later on, I can answer them better. I'll give a dedicated time for you. Is that okay with you? Type agree in the chat box if it's okay with you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, how many of you are sitting in a house or somewhere that you might have such chances of getting disturbed by the people? So what I want you to do is I want you to please inform your people around you to not disturb you for the next few hours. I want you to put your phone on silent so that you don't get disturbed, because there are no recordings and replays of this class. Okay, no recordings and replays. So this is a class which is one-time class for you. So remember to take lots of notes and pics of the slides if required. Do you agree with this? Type agree in the chat box. Have you locked yourself in a room so that you don't get disturbed? Have you put your phone on silent? I request you to switch to a bigger device, maybe a laptop or a computer, rather than watching this on the phone, so that you get a better experience and understanding of it. And how many of you agree with me that the chats sometimes, when they keep popping up, it really disturbs you? So is it okay from now onwards we put the chat on the host and panelist? So me and my team can see your chats, but nobody else can see them. Let's have this conversation between you and me rather than an entire group. Is that okay with you all? Fantastic. Team, could you turn the chats to host and panelist? Awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Now, you know what? You're all here to rewire your brain to overcome so many of your challenges that you shared with me. Now, what if I tell you that your brain learns not just from the theory? It doesn't, like, how many of you have, let me take an example. Like, you have watched a YouTube video or maybe attended a master class, and they give you 3 to 5 steps to change your life. You tried applying those 3 to 5 steps in your life, but it didn't work for you. How many of you have got this experience? Yeah, right? So, I want to give you a simple tip to rewire your brain. A simple tip to rewire your brain is brain does not learn from theory. Brain doesn't understand 1, 2, 3, aise karo, do this, do that, do that. Your brain learns from a lot of case studies, lot of stories of real-time people, lot of stories that you have heard probably as a child. How many of you have at least one story that you heard as a child, a bedtime story, and you still remember that story, and maybe that's even your favorite story? How many of you have that? Right? So I'm going to share a story with you, a very profound story, which one of my teachers shared with me, and that completely transformed the way I look at myself and the world now. So many years back, when I was attending one of the classes, back then there was no online classes, so we would travel across the world and we would attend different classes. So one of these classes that I was attending, and when I was sitting there, my teacher said that, I'm going to share with you a story. And this is a story of a baby who's abandoned, who's lying outside the jungle on a grass patch. And this baby is crying. That near to that jungle, there was a sheep village, and this mother sheep goes towards that grass patch to graze, to eat the grass. And while she's grazing, she hears this baby crying. She looks around and she goes towards the direction where the baby is crying. She sees the baby alone. She picks up the baby out of love and she looks around for the parents. The parents aren't around. Now she doesn't know what to do because the baby is really crying. Baby is hungry. So she takes the baby, she goes back to the village and she nurses the baby. She feeds the baby. Now baby is very happy. Food is taken care. Everything else is taken care. Baby is warm now. Mother is taking care of the baby and all that stuff is happening. So this baby, it starts growing. And the mother sheep realizes that the baby can't be only on the milk now. The baby needs to eat solid food. So the mother takes the baby next day to the school, to the teacher, and says that please teach my baby how to eat the grass. So teacher admits the baby in the school, and there are other sheep babies along. Okay. And the teacher is teaching every baby how to cut the grass, how to chew the grass, how to eat the grass. All the other babies around are able to do it effortlessly, but this our baby is struggling with it. It tries to chew the grass, it tries to gulp it down, but can't, so it spits it out. The teacher takes unlimited efforts to teach this baby, but the baby does not learn how to eat the grass. The teacher says, hey, look, I'm not going to teach you anymore. I can't do this. You have to go back to your mother and tell your mother to take you to the doctors. So the mother and child go to the doctor, mental health specialist, and the mental health specialist looks at the baby and says, we don't know what's wrong with him. Everything is okay with the body, but maybe some issue in the mind. We can't really right now help him because we have to see what's going on. So mother and baby comes back home. Around everybody, all the other babies and other people are laughing at this chotu baby and saying that, hey, you're so dumb, you're so stupid, you can't even eat grass. The baby starts feeling really, really bad and sad and starts crying. In that moment itself, that they hear the loud roar of a lion, which is approaching towards this sheep village. Now, everybody in this village gets helter-skelter, even this small baby. And the baby is running. And as the providence was, the baby, unfortunately, meets this lion in the middle of that patch. And right here, that big lion, and here is our baby shivering, crying, and trembling with fear. And pleads to the lion, says, please don't eat me, I'm just a baby. So lion looks at the baby and says, hey, why will I eat you? So the baby says, that's because you eat all the sheep. My mother said that, you're going to eat me. So please don't eat me. The lion roars and laughs loudly and holds the baby by its ear and brings the baby to the nearest stream of water and shows the baby its reflection in that water. And the moment the baby sees its reflection in the water, a huge bulb on moment happens in the baby's head. I don't look like a sheep, but I do look like this lion. So all this time, the baby was surrounded by the sheep and started thinking that he's a sheep, whereas he was actually a lion. So just because you are surrounded by ordinary people, don't consider yourself ordinary. You are an extraordinary person. Because taking a step forward to transform your life is a sign of extraordinariness. It was a great bulb on for me that moment. And my teacher pushed me to become who I am today. So I want to ask you, I want to seek your permission today. Is it okay if I push you to take that action, to experience your extraordinariness, to make that decision so that you start roaring in this world? A true roar of who you are rather than behaving ordinary. So do I have the permission to do that? Type P in the chat box if I have the permission to do that. Thank you so much. So one of the ways that I want to push you is I'm going to keep you asking questions and I want you to type those messages in the chat box. Because when you start answering those questions and type the messages in the chat box, it's going to help your mind, not me. It's going to help your mind to be aware, to be awake. Let's train your mind muscles to be strong so that you can take action. And when should you take action? Tomorrow, day after? Or today? Today. So type serious action in the chat box if you're going to take some serious action. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now remember, you're the driver of your life. So don't be on the back seat. Don't be on the passenger seat. Your mind is like a parachute. When does a parachute work? When it is open, right? So mind is like parachute. So keep it open for the next few hours and you will dive deeper to understand what's going on in your space. Now, before we dive even deeper, is it okay if I share with you what this masterclass is going to be? What we're going to do with it? And then if I introduce myself, how many of you are meeting me for the first time? You are, right? So is it okay if I share a little bit about my background so that you know why do I have the authority and credibility to work with you, to help you to transform your life, to revive your brain so that you can change your life? Yeah? So let me share this with you. What we're going to do today is we're going to go through some series of activities for you to dive deeper. Not superficially, but dive deeper to understand where you are, what's going on in your space, what may have happened in your childhood, what are you holding on to, and because of whatever has happened in your past, maybe it is impacting your present decisions and actions, and how it is impacting your future. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about your goals. We're going to talk about the 3-step proven formula, which is recognize, release, and rewire to stop procrastinating, take massive action, attract opportunities to make more money, excel in your career, have better relationships, and amazing health and freedom of time. How many of you would want that in your life? So I'm going to teach you the triple R formula that will help you to start transforming your life on multiple levels. Yeah, fantastic. So I welcome you one more time. This is Sunny Mandavia, accountant executive. He says that when he came for this class, he's a commerce graduate, CA final student, and also working professional. The challenges that he faced was I was continuously failing in my CA exams and was not doing well at my job too. As a result, I was constantly switching jobs. The major issue I faced was fear of failure in whatever I do and lack of self-confidence and motivation. The results that he got after attending the Ultimate Success Champion, that's an advanced program for 3 days, I really feel a massive positive change and altogether a different perspective of life towards my own self and others too. I was unemployed since December 2021, and to my surprise, in 1 month, I got my job offer from all the way to Africa, which was unexpected. The 3-day journey of Ultimate Success Champion, I could get over my fear of failure and procrastination. I had lots of bulb-on and aha moments. This program is designed in such a way that it helps you to become creator of your own destiny. You become an action taker and manifest all your dreams effortlessly. I'm happy I'm on autopilot of success. So, how many of you, first of all, resonate with Sunny's story? Procrastination, fear of failure, lack of self confidence, lack of motivation. Yeah? So, stay tuned because there's a lot that I'm going to teach you in this masterclass too that you'll realize that why this is happening to you. But I want you to focus on this case study and the last line where he says, I'm happy I'm on autopilot of success. You see the autopilot word? I want you to write that in capital letters in your book because we're going to talk about autopilot a bit in this class. What happens is your brain, and you're going to learn about different layers of brain this time, but how this is connected to your success. And your brain 95% of the times is on autopilot. What is an autopilot? Autopilot is that you see like probably conveyor belts, etc., where you just switch on, switch off. There's one button and that takes care of everything, right? So pretty much everything in our life is autopilot. 95% of our life is on autopilot. And what I've seen between the ordinary and extraordinary people, the difference between the people, those who are successful, and the people, those who are struggling, is the people, those who are extraordinary, their success is on autopilot in their life. So they don't have to work really, against the tide. They're flowing, like, the success comes to them, opportunities come to them, money comes to them naturally and effortlessly. Their decisions are always proved to be the right decisions for their life. And some people, those are living an ordinary life or struggling in their life, their struggle is on autopilot. So their decisions, their actions, everything goes on autopilot. So unless and until you understand what this autopilot that you are running in your life, you will not be able to change your life. You want to make sure that you're taking actions in your life. At the same time, you're also having fun and enjoying your life. So now is it okay if I share a little bit about myself so that you know why do I have the credibility to help you cross this ocean of change? Thank you. Thank you very much. So this is me, born and brought up in Mumbai, into a middle-class family. I struggled a lot as a child because I had a lot of allergies and a lot of bronchitis. I all the time used to get, cold, cough, breathing, wheezing problems. And my parents took me to all the doctors almost in Mumbai, and they used to give me a lot of medicines, right? So with the medicines, what used to happen is I used to start getting brain fog. So I was not able to focus or do anything in a right time. So I've become a very big procrastinator right at a very young age. Most importantly in my life, because I came from a middle class family, my father was the only earning member, and we were 4 children. I'm the 4th and youngest daughter of my parents. My mother was a homemaker. So by the end of the month, we always were very, very tight with money. So I remember, if I look back on my childhood, I always remember the palpable tension at home when it came to money. The stress that was coming predominantly on my parents, their arguments, their trying to hide the challenges from us, and all of that stress overall had put me into a lot of emotional stress because I was falling sick very often. And most of these times when doctors' fees used to be paid, I used to be really, really like feeling that I'm adding burden to my parents' already existing financial problems. How many of you have felt guilty and ashamed of, adding problems to your parents' life? How many of you have felt that way? So at a very young age, I started feeling very guilty and ashamed that, why am I like this and why do I have these problems? And the more I felt guilty and ashamed, And I didn't know how to deal with it because nobody teaches you in school or at home in colleges that how to deal with your emotional stress, how to deal with all that is going on inside you. People just tell you to, keep quiet or push it under the carpet. Or people don't teach you how to pray, how to cope with it effectively so that it doesn't affect you. So, in my case, my coping mechanism to cover up the stress was procrastination at a young age. And when I started growing a little older, I became a perfectionist. How many of you can resonate with that? How many of you here are procrastinators or perfectionists? It's like a spectrum, right? Procrastinator is a person who doesn't take action, who keeps postponing the action, and perfectionist is a person who takes action but does not submit the results. They keep thinking that things will change and I'll get better and I'll do this and I'll do that. So I was constantly in that space. Few days are good, few days were bad, but confusion was constant in my life. Somehow with all of these, some external support, some things in my life that went right, I became an Ayurvedic doctor. But as an Ayurvedic doctor, I was not a regular Ayurvedic doctor who would give people medicines or tell them to change some lifestyle and change things will happen. For me, what happened is at a very young age, this is my 26 years I completed now as a doctor. At a very young age in my practice, I got patients from all across the country for autoimmune disorders like ankylosing spondylitis, rheumatoid arthritis, Parkinson's, paralysis, cardiovascular disorders, diabetes, and whatnot. So I got so many critical illness patients, and while I was working with them, the predominant thing that I realized that time was even though I give them the medicines and I help them to change their lifestyle, people were not getting completely cured because these were the diseases that were there in their space for a very long time. So I decided to, ask them certain questions. I was not trained back then into understanding the mental health so much, but I was asking them certain questions, and the realization that came to me about all of these people is the challenge that they were facing was one simple thing. There was some sort of a trauma, some sort of an experience that they had gone through in their life in the past, which they were not able to get over. Somebody had rejected them, humiliated them, they failed at something, and people laughed at them. People were judging them. There were certain things that happened, the abuse, physical, mental, emotional abuse, and these things that they went through, that they could not really come to terms with it. And because it was constantly there in their subconscious mind, it had eventually created the toxic chemicals in their body. So you need to write this down, okay? You go through an experience, and if you don't get over that experience, how many of you have at least one or two negative experiences that happened in your life many years back, but you still remember them? Yeah? There could be multiple events as well, but at least one or two. Or some of you may have gone through a constant stress like me. May not be one event, but a constant stress like me where there were constant fights at home, or there were financial challenges at home, or maybe there was environment around you was unpredictable or unsafe, physically or emotionally. Now, if you've gone through all of that, as a child, you learn to develop a coping mechanism to deal with it. But you don't really deal with it constructively because do you still remember that event that happened in the past? And when that event that happened in your past, when you think of that event right now, how do you feel? Notice how you feel. You feel negative. Exactly, right? You don't feel good. You feel sad. You feel angry. So all of these, whatever has happened in your space in the past, creates a certain emotion in your space. And when that emotion, write down emotion, okay? E in emotion stands for energy. Energy in motion is emotion. So what is the energy in motion in your body? Energy in motion in your body are the chemicals that are in your body. There are more than 120 chemicals your body produces every single day. On this planet, if there is any biggest chemical factory, that is your body. And these chemicals, imagine your body is like a Ferrari. Okay? Ferrari should run at 200 miles per hour. But in that Ferrari, if you have a substandard fuel, what's going to happen to the Ferrari? Can it run at 200 miles per hour? No, right? It will run like a Katara. Same thing happens with the people, those who are struggling in their life. Their chemicals in their body are not supporting their actions. Your chemicals in your body are the fuel to take that action, fuel for this Ferrari. That doesn't happen. So all of these patients, those who are coming to me, they had this negative chemicals running in their body. And because of these toxic chemicals in their body, they had created this disease. Disease is this ease. Where the ease goes away from your life, disease comes. Your health issues are directly connected to your success and struggle in your life. How many of you realize what I'm saying right now? Type R in the chat box if you realize it. So when I started, thank you. So when I started working with all of these patients on their mind and on their emotions, suddenly I started seeing the irreversible cases of cancer, rheumatoid arthritis, ankylosing spondylitis, cardiovascular disorders, diabetes, thyroid. People started reversing. People started becoming healthy. They started healing. And they keep coming back to me and saying that, not just my health is okay, not just my body is okay now, but my relationships have improved. My money has improved. My career opportunities have improved. And you have literally changed my life. And after 7 years of gathering all of this information and data from my patients, I realized that what I'm doing is helping all the people. Then why am I waiting for people to come to me when they become patient? So after 7 years of my medical practice, I decided to work with everybody, opening this entire structure of RRR formula for people to become successful. Because the moment you create that success and fulfillment in your life, you automatically start healing your life. You start living a better life. I've worked with more than 7 lakh people in my journey. I have been awarded multiple times at many, many occasions. And I have been, 1 minute, this is, something is, yeah. So I've been awarded at multiple occasions. I have received a lot of awards. I have got covered into many, many newspapers, news channels. I was at the cover page of the CEO magazine. I also shared stage with many, many eminent personalities like Jack Canfield, Sri Gaur Gopal Das, Brian Tracy, Rich Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, Marisa Peer. So many of them I shared stage in the last many years. I worked with many of the corporate companies across India and outside of India. We were working in the 7 different countries before pandemic hit. But after pandemic, we got an opportunity to work with people online. And one of the dreams that I always had in my life is, as a child, I used to read a lot in our history that India was Sone ki Chidiya. India was a place where people would come and study. And I always wondered, what if we bring that India back? What if we become the part of that journey again, that we become the house of studies, learning, a different kind of a learning? I got an opportunity now to work across the world online, where we have students now from America, Canada, UK, Europe, Southeast Asia, and all of these people are now back learning from India. So extremely proud to be in this journey where India is becoming the superpower. And I'm extremely happy that you are here as a part of that superpower. How many of you are happy to be here? Type H in the chat box. Thank you for sharing your stories of your health, by the way. Thank you very much. And a couple of years back, I launched my second book, You Matter, on Amazon. And I'm sure some of you have already read it, because I get your messages and your reviews that how this book has changed your life. So thank you so much for picking it up and also reviewing the book that It has made a difference in your life. Now, how many of you feel that I do have certain level of credibility and authority as a doctor and as a person who's herself went through so much of challenges in her life, overcome the challenges, helped so many people to overcome challenges? How many of you feel that I have a little bit of credibility to teach you and help you to change your life? Thank you very much. Now, how many of you would like to stay in touch with me for the rest of your life? Just learning for free. Okay, so quickly open your phone, go on YouTube, and subscribe to Dr. Meghna Dikshit. It's my YouTube channel. I post two very, very profound videos Tuesdays and Thursdays on rewiring your brain on various topics. There are already more than 300 videos there. You can go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you can see the video and learn for free. Once you've done the YouTube, you can then open Instagram and follow me on Instagram also, Dr. Meghna Dikshit, and follow Success Gyan India as well on Instagram so that you can learn from Success Gyan's channel too. Once you're done, type done in the chat box and let me know, because I am here to save 15-20 years of your time. My students typically achieve results in 3 to 6 months, what others would take over 10 to 15 years. A journey from where you are to where you want to go, any dream, any goal you want to achieve in your life, this triple R formula can bridge that gap. And for the people, those who are now decided to stay with me, if you're going to stay, I have a very, very special gift for you. Type gift in the chat box if you want a special gift from me. Okay? So the people, those who are here with me, till the end of the class, I'm going to give you a very special workbook, a very transformative workbook. My team will check the attendance, and if they see you till the time I am in the class, then only you're going to get this workbook. Because I want to train your brain now for commitment and finishing. We don't want to leave halfway. Do you agree with me? Type agree in the chat box. If you stay till the end, you will get this workbook. And it's a very, very powerful workbook to start rewiring your brain. Fantastic. Okay, so let's dive straight now into the triple R formula. Okay, so let's look at this. Any place where you want to go from A to B, the first thing that you want to do, first R is recognize. Okay, I'm going to go through each one of them in detail. So the first thing is recognize. What do you want to recognize? Your unconscious expectation set point. We'll go in detail one by one. The second point is release your childhood patterns. By the age of 7 years, most of our patterns are developed. 90% of our brain develops under the age of 7 years. And that includes our habits and our patterns and our thinking, our decision patterns, our action patterns, everything. And the third is rewire, reticular your activation system. So we are going to work on all of these three things. And who can be benefited from this class? So the participants, those who have benefited from this class, this triple R processes, entrepreneurs. So if you're an entrepreneur, type E in the chat box. Solopreneurs, if you're a solopreneur, type S in the chat box. Professionals, so if you're a professional, type P in the chat box. Working professional, so if you are a working professional, type WP in the chat box. Teenagers, if you're a teenager, type teenager in the chat box, T in the chat box. And parents. So if you are a parent, type P in the chat box. So you are falling into any of this category. This entire program is preparing you for life. because all of us require a agile mind and a retrained brain to define success differently. Because before pandemic, the world was different. There was a different understanding of the world. But after the pandemic, the world has changed drastically, and it is predicted that in the next 5 years, it's going to change even more drastically. So there will be a lot of things that you need to catch up, and for that you need to have an agile and powerful mind. So if you're ready to type dive in the chat box, because we're going in the first point, recognize unconscious expectation set point. Now, what is unconscious expectation set point? Unconscious expectation set point is like a thermostat of the AC. How many of you know that there's a thermostat in the AC? So let me tell you what the thermostat does. If you set the temperature at 22 in thermostat, and if the room temperature goes to 24, the AC compressor will go to the overdrive and bring the temperature back to 22. But if the temperature goes to 18, the compressor will stop working till the temperature of the room comes back to 22. So no matter what you do or not do, the temperature, if it is set for 22, the room temperature will remain at 22. It's an autopilot mechanism of the AC. Similar mechanisms you will find in the car, in the fridge, in the geyser, any machines, even the press iron, right? There's an auto cutoff that happens. Our brain is also a machine, and there is an auto cutoff that happens in our machine too. So what is our unconscious expectation set point? Let me give you some examples here, okay? So if you are in a job, type J in the chat box. So if you remember, you went for an interview, you crossed all the levels, and the last was a negotiation interview. You wanted a salary of 22 lakhs per annum, and you're going for that interview. But there's a part of you which said that, hey, you know what, even if you get 18 lakhs, take it. And then you justified it by saying industry is bad, the economy is bad, this is not good, that is not good, can we do this, can we do that types. And it eventually, you went for that interview and you agreed for 18 lakhs, even though you knew you deserved 22 lakhs. Anybody here who's gone through this experience? Thank you for sharing. Now, if you're a business owner, type B in the chat box. Has it ever happened to you that you wanted to close a certain deal at certain percentage of profit? And just before the meeting started, there was a lot of thoughts going on in your mind and said, hey, you know what, you want 12%, but you know what, even if you get 8%, you take it because it's worth it. You don't let the customer go. At least it will help your cash flow, and you can always make money later on. And you took that deal at 8%. And this keeps happening over and over and over, again and again and again. Somehow you always learn to settle for the lesser than what you deserve. If you are a self-employed like me, a doctor, a lawyer, a CA, have you ever seen this, that the people, those who come to your clients, are always delaying your payments? They are haggling and negotiating to pay you your money, right? Or sometimes they don't even pay you. Now, you must be thinking that all the world is against you, but that's not true. This is all happening because of your unconscious expectation set point. Where does it all start? Let me share one simple example of your childhood. How many of you have heard in your childhood from your parents, from your teachers, that you know what? If you aim to get 90%, you'll at least get 70%. So aim for 90, so to get 70. And for years and years and years, you kept aiming for 90 to settle at 70. You don't understand it, that at that age itself, it was seeded in your mind that you can aim higher, but you'll settle for lesser. So every time you go into the world to create your results, you are aiming higher, But there's a part of you which comes up and says, settle for lesser. Because that's your unconscious expectation set point. How many of you have got the bulb on right now? Type BO in the chat box if you got a bulb on. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Now let's understand what is your unconscious expectation set point. So tell me if this is you, okay? Are you underutilizing your potential and procrastinating? Type yes in the chat box. Are you struggling to increase your income and savings? Type yes in the chat box. Do you have relationship issues at home and at work? Are you carrying past baggage of failures, regrets, and traumas? Type I in the chat box. Are you missing out on bigger and better opportunities? Type M in the chat box. Are you not taking action or your actions are not giving results? Type A in the chat box. Do you feel nobody listens to you? Type N in the chat box. You don't get enough recognition and appreciation. Type RA in the chat box. You are underpaid. Type UP in the chat box. You can't negotiate or present your point. Type N in the chat box. You have fear of public speaking. Type FP in the chat box. And you set the goals every year and you do not achieve those goals every year. Are you into the trap of setting the goals and not achieving them? Type yes with lot of SS in the chat box. So out of these points, how many yeses you got? How many yes you got? Out of 12, how many yes you got? Seven, 3, 2. 10, 12, 8. Thank you for sharing it. Thank you for sharing that with me. Now, before we understand that why this is happening to you, now you see, this is all your unconscious expectation set point. Okay? This is all happening because what's going on internally. So now you need to understand what's exactly happening. For us to understand it, we want to go to the next slide where we are talking about the 3 major layers of your brain. Now, if you look at these 3 major layers, can you see the bottommost, the innermost layer, which is called as reptilian brain? Right? Now, what is a reptilian brain? A reptilian brain is your brain, which is so. To teach you about the brain, I want to take you on a journey of human evolution. Okay, so about 7.5 millions of years back, when humans started trotting on this planet, we were very few in numbers. Today we are 8 billion. But that time it was very few people. Right? And your reptilian brain is connected with the entire process of fight and flight. It's a survival brain. Type survival in the chat box. It's a survival brain. And what does a survival brain do? A survival brain only helps you to keep safe and protected, comfortable. So this survival brain came up in our space about 7.5 millions of years back. How many of you notice that even though so to explain you a little bit of survival brain, let me explain this way, okay? Let me take an example. So at the 7.5 millions of years back, where was a human being? Human beings were the lowest of the light chain, and rest of the species were on the top of the light chain. So we neither had the muscle power, neither we had the tools to fight these ferocious animals. So what was happening at that point of time? we only had the tigers and lions who were ready to attack us and kill us and eat us. So, what was needed at that point of time? To recognize that the tiger is more powerful than me, so I must run, and the rabbit is much weaker than me, so I must kill. So, fight, right? So, at that point of time, it was required, this brain was required to keep us safe and comfortable. This brain is 90% of the times plugged into the outside environment. Why? Because we were living in the caves, right? And when you're living in the caves, what's happening is there are so many, from many directions, there is a chances that you will go through the threat, the problems, right? Now, the brain was completely focused on the outside environment to keep you warned that whether any tiger is approaching you, whether the glaciers are melting, is there any threat in an environment? So this brain is 24/7 awake, and this brain only focuses on the problems and the challenges, basically the tiger in your life. Now you may be wondering that, okay, back then there was a tiger, but today there's no tiger. They're either in the zoo or in the reserve. Why am I still struggling with this tiger? How many of you feel that way? Type I in the chat. About it this way, okay? So this tiger back then was a physical tiger. Now you don't have a physical tiger, but how many of you have some other tigers in the forms of triggers in your life? It could be social media, it could be a boss, it could be some EMI, it could be your parent, it could be your spouse, it could be your children, it could be school fees, it could be some exams. How many of you have these tigers in your life? And how many of you agree with me that back then the tiger would trouble you? Maybe like 15-20 minutes, half an hour. If you go to the jungle, you will see that tiger and deers are not all the time fighting. It's once in a day or once in 2 days that the chase happens for 15-20 minutes or half an hour. And then everyone becomes quiet. They are living easily, right? But today, all of these tigers that are there in your space that we mentioned, who's your tiger? Type in the chat box, tell me who's your tiger in your life. Social media, phone. Overthinking, public speaking, wife, boss and family, society. No, overthinking and confusion is not a tiger, it's a symptom. EMI. So traffic for some people, yes, right? COVID was a big tiger for all of us, isn't it? So all of that what you're going through, the tiger back then would probably chase you for 30 minutes and then things would stop. But these tigers today, are they there for 30 minutes or are they there for 24 hours? 24 hours, right? Exactly. So what we need to understand is your reptilian brain not just focuses on the physical tigers, but it also focuses on the emotional tigers. And the physical tigers may be there for 15-20 minutes, but the emotional tigers in our space are 24/7. Now, the moment I asked you about your tiger, how many of you could see that person's face right in your mind? That person may not be right now in front of you. You are in this class with me, but there is a part of you that showed that picture in front of you. Or for a lot of us, that past event that happened to us can be a very big tiger. the event that we spoke earlier. And the moment this reptilian brain sees this tiger, it is always pulling you back in the survival mechanism, in the survival zone, in the comfort zone, so that you don't get attacked by a tiger. And what could be a comfort zone and a survival zone? Procrastination, anxiety, fears, overthinking, confusion. All of this is a comfort zone. Write this down. Very important information. You may be thinking that you don't like procrastination or this and that and that. But all of that is your comfort zone. Overeating, yes, Ketki. All of that is your comfort zone so that you are always protected from the tiger. Unfortunately, it's a 24-hour cycle. So far, so good. Type SFSG. So far, so good if you got it. Or type IGI. I got it. Fantastic. Okay. So your unconscious expectation set point is set based on your trigger, your tiger that is there. Your unconscious expectation set point is always focusing on that tiger. So it will only do so much that your energy is conserved. Your energy is kept with you so that you can fight or run away from this tiger who's there in your life. So if 90% of your energy is conserved to fight this tiger, only 10% energy is with you to run this body and also, achieve your goals. Can you truly successfully achieve your goals?
Yes.
No, exactly, right? Because 90% is going and fighting that tiger or running away from that tiger. How many of you are right now also running away from something or somebody or fighting with something or somebody? And this is a daily task,
Speak English.
right? So there's no energy left, and that's why you're struggling in your life. And it's all the contribution of your unconscious expectation set point. Balbon, type DO in the chat box. We are going deeper into this topic now. Type DO in the chat box. It's a very important topic. The second layer, thank you so much. The second layer of your brain is called as mammalian brain. This is a layer that developed 2.5 million of years back, where humans started living in communities. This is a layer that produces all the chemicals in your body. As I said, there are 120 chemicals in your body. Some are the chemicals that are also called as stress hormones, and some chemicals are called as happiness hormones. So I'm not going to talk about all the 120 chemicals, but let me just talk about the two chemicals here. Okay? So the first set of chemicals that I was talking about is the stress hormones. There are adrenaline, cortisol. These are the stress hormones that are released in our body the moment we see the tiger. Okay? Now, when do you see the tiger in this case? Are you seeing it once upon a time or once in a day, or are you seeing it every time? Because we just established that you may not be consciously thinking about the tiger, but the tiger is always present in your space 24 hours. Right? So that means there is a constant release of adrenaline and cortisol happening in your body. Now there are trillions of cells of your body, and all these trillions of cells are sucking this hormone, stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, and they're now filled with that stress hormone. Now the stress hormones in small quantity are very good for you. They literally help you to overcome any challenge. You know, when you have an interview, or when you want to prepare for a speech, or when you want to give an exam, you get that extra energy to pull an overnighter. It's a good stress. But what happens when there is an event that has happened in your past, or when probably the spouse or the boss or things that are constantly going on in your space? There's a constant release of these stress hormones. And when there's a constant release of these stress hormones, what's their job? Their job is to help you overcome stress. But are you really overcoming stress? No, it's right there right now because you have not dealt with that stress in the first place. You just ignored it. You're just pushing it under the carpet. So now what happens? See, the adrenaline and cortisol are the addictive hormones. Write this down. They are very addictive in nature. And I'm going to compare them with a cigarette. Now what happens when have you seen a smoker? A smoker smokes a cigarette. It releases nicotine in their blood. The moment the nicotine is released in their blood, they feel good and they absorb the energy to take some action or do something. Now, after some time, nicotine drops down in the blood. The smoker starts sweating or urinates, and the nicotine goes down from the blood. And the moment the nicotine goes down from the blood, what happens to the smoker? They start getting restless, right? And the mind sends, the body sends them the message that go, it's time to have another cigarette break. They go, have another smoke, and the moment the nicotine is released in their blood, now they're feeling good, right? Now, the moment they feel good, it becomes a self-sustained cycle of releasing that reward in their body. A smoker is addicted to the nicotine. And just like without nicotine, they start feeling restless, a person who's addicted to stress hormones starts feeling restless if there is no stress. So then what does a person who's addicted to the stress hormones does? They get out from one toxic relationship and they enter into another toxic relationship. They get out of one job to find another job, but that boss is also very toxic. The environment is very toxic. So basically, your mind gets trained to seek problems, to seek challenges so that you are justifying the release of adrenaline and cortisol. How many of you got a huge bulb on right now? Type HBO in the chat box. In this world today, 99% of the people are addicted to stress hormones. And because you are addicted to stress hormones, your success is not on autopilot. Because if your success becomes on autopilot, how will you get the dose of adrenaline and cortisol? Your success has to be on autopilot for you to feel happy. Or for you, when you feel happy, the success is on autopilot. Your struggle is on autopilot so that your adrenaline and cortisol is released constantly in your body because you are addicted to those hormones. Take a deep breath, everybody. I just dropped a bomb on you. That why do you have anxiety, fear, procrastination, perfectionism, overthinking, confusion? Because my friend, you're addicted to those symptoms. Because those symptoms give you the adrenaline and cortisol release in your body. Did you write all that down? Is this a revelation to you that why are you creating more and more problems in your life? Type R in the chat box if it's a revelation to you. Now, the good side of this is, if you are someone who's addicted to adrenaline and cortisol and creating the problems for yourself, the moment you overcome the addiction, can you then create success? And the good news is yes. Because there are other hormones in your body that are called as DOSE. DOSE. Okay, write this down. DOSE. How many of you have been to a doctor? The doctor gives you the medicine and says, take this dose of the medicine. You remember the dose, right? What does dose mean? D stands for dopamine. O stands for oxytocin. S stands for serotonin. And E stands for endorphins. These are the 4 happiness wellness chemicals. When they are released in your body, your success becomes autopilot. So when the adrenaline and cortisol is released in your body, your stress and your struggle becomes on autopilot. And when the dose is released in your body, your success becomes on autopilot. Your success and struggle is directly linked to what chemicals are released in your body. My team will post the dose full form: dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. Is this making sense now? Write MS in the chat box if this is making sense. The most successful people, the top athletes, top CEOs, and people those who generally are creating great success in their life have most often dose released in their body. And people those who struggle in their life are the ones those who have those stress hormones on release in their body. What does a stress hormone do more? They give you 60 to 70,000 thoughts every single day. And most of these thoughts are the negative thoughts. Okay, so when you have more stress hormones in your body, you have overthinking, you have more thoughts. And when there are, 60 to 70,000 thoughts, if I have to ask you, how many thoughts do you remember that you had yesterday? How many thoughts do you actually remember? Nothing, right? So that means all those 60, 70,000 thoughts are very much on automation. And those thoughts are creating your results. So if you don't remember what thoughts you had, can you predict your results? Can you create the results that you want? No. Because your thoughts creates your reality. So then your thoughts has to be changed. And it is the research says that the big monks, powerful athletes, powerful CEOs, they only have 7 to 10,000 thoughts every single day. So when their thoughts are lesser, they have more capacity to create the results that they want. On an average, a human being makes 35,000 decisions every single day. Come on, tell me, how many decisions do you remember that you took yesterday? 2, 3, not more than that, right? So the rest of the 34,997 decisions are made by your reptilian and your mammalian brain. And if you don't know what decisions you're making, can you then change your life? Because your decisions creates your destiny, isn't it? And if you don't know your decisions, you cannot make your destiny. And then you're living the same life for days and years together. But it is all in your hand. How? Now you see the third layer of your brain, neocortex. That's the most recent layer on your brain. 10,000 years back, this layer of the brain got developed. And this layer is the supreme genius layer of your brain. This is a layer that's most powerful. And the athletes, top performers, CEOs, greatest of the monks, etc., have this layer activated in them. And that's the reason they're able to think consciously, they're able to make decisions consciously, and they're able to take actions consciously. And that's the reason they're able to take and create the results that they want in their life. The extraordinary people are governed by neocortex. This is your genius brain. This is your executive center of the brain. Everybody making sense? Type MS in the chat box. Even though you have got this brain, you have not learned and you have not been trained to use it properly. Most of your brain is being used from the reptilian and mammalian point of view. Most of you are the managers of the stress, not the creators of your life. Because the neocortex is a creator of life. So now let's understand, if this is your brain, how does it function? Brain is your hardware and your mind is a software. And there are 3 layers of your mind, right? The first layer, the innermost layer, is called as unconscious mind. Your unconscious mind is connected to your reptilian brain. 65% of your energy or focus is conserved by unconscious mind. What does an unconscious mind do? It has automatic control over your respiration, your blood circulation, elimination, digestion. your immune system and all of that. The next layer on that is subconscious mind. 30% of your focus and energy is conserved by subconscious mind, consumed by subconscious mind. This is connected to your mammalian brain. This is connected to your long-term memory, emotions, creativity, and your habits. And these habits are not changing habits. These habits are to keep what habits you already have. So imagine 95% of your energy is maintained or conserved or used to maintain the habits that you have. And 5% of your energy and focus is used for conscious mind. Rational thinking, logical thinking, your willpower, short-term memory, planning, critical thinking, decisions and judgments. See, right now you're all charged up with me, right? You're feeling highly motivated. Most likely you're telling yourself, oh, I'm getting so many bulb-on moments, I'm going to make a difference in my life today. Has it happened to you before as well? That when you watch a video or read a book or something you're going through, you feel extremely motivated, right? But then that motivation doesn't last. It goes down, right? Why? Because that motivation is only 5% energy. It's a conscious mind. But 95% of your mind is focused on the tiger that's there in your life. Take a deep breath, everybody. Because this is a big bomb. Is it a truth bomb for all of you? So no matter how much willpower you try to exercise, it doesn't last for long. And sometimes you can't even find logic. That why does this happen to me? I'm a very hardworking person. I have great skills. I take a lot of efforts, but the person who doesn't make much efforts or is not really hardworking gets better opportunities than me. Have you seen that happening? Other people getting better opportunities and not you? Why does that happen? Can you explain it logically? No. Because we are not logical, but we are biological. Your chemicals in your body are governing your results. On autopilot. That's why I said that autopilot word is extremely critical, extremely crucial. Now let's understand this unconscious expectation set point from the point of view of the tiger that I was explaining. Let's see here, okay? So if suppose there is a tiger in your life, that triggers that you are talking about, right? It could be spouse, boss, loss, traffic, social media, past traumatic memory. Now what it's doing is, it is releasing adrenaline and cortisol, the stress hormones in your body. And the moment the stress hormones are released in your body, there's a response of fighting, running away, or freezing in the moment. Now let me share this with you, okay? Has it ever happened to you in your life that go back to your childhood and every time there was a fight or something that happened at home, what kind of reaction would come up from you as a child? If you were a child who was aggressive and who would start fighting and get into the fight, today also, you are the same person when the stressful situation comes. You are in a boardroom meeting and there is a crucial moment for you to create an impact. And you end up saying something stupid that later on you regret. Anybody with me? This is to happen to me a lot. I would end up saying something and then I would find myself like, why did I say that? It's so stupid. I should have stopped. I should not said this, right? Even in your personal relationships, in the fights that you have, arguments that you have, you end up saying something that you then later on regret. If you were a child who would hide behind the table so that you don't have to face the fight, today also, when you're in a boardroom meeting and the boss asks you to say something, you become quiet. And that opportunity goes to somebody else because you're not able to say things at the right time. How many of you regret that you don't say things or don't stand up for yourself on the right time? These are the people who experience people, road rolling you. They're all the time taking you for granted. And then you start feeling that, I do so much, but I never get the opportunity. This is all happening because of that stress hormone. Now, why this happens? Think about your brain, you know, is like a computer. And the brain studies have found that it takes less than a second for a statement or even a single word to trigger an emotional reaction. And when that happens, our access to remembered skills, the ability to think rationally, is greatly impaired. We are unable to be objective and consider the problem realistically. And stress can result in a drain of more than 70% of the blood from your neocortex, the genius brain. And that blood goes to your body because you have to either fight or run, right? Now, once that blood goes away, even oxygen goes away. When the oxygen goes away, carbon dioxide increases in the brain. And when there's a more carbon dioxide in your brain, there's a brain fog. You freeze in that moment. It doesn't get the normal oxygen supply. And you can't think straight. How many of you have experienced that in a stressful, crucial moment? There is blank out. You can't really think straight. And suddenly, all of those skills you have in your neocortex that you learned all your school and college, your thinking brain, are no longer available to you. It's like a computer which has all the data, all the programs in it stored on its hard drive. But if you unplug the computer, all that stored information is still there. But can you access it? There is no power for you to access that powerful information, yes or no? Right? So how many of you got now understanding? Type BO in the chat box, a bulb on in the chat box, that why even though you're smart, why even though you're educated, you have all the skills, and otherwise you're doing excellent, but when it comes to stressful situations, you are not able to take charge of that situation. Take a deep breath, everybody. It's a heavy duty science, right? Now, are we ready to go even deeper in this topic? Yeah, are we ready to go even deeper? Type ready or R in the chat box. Awesome, fantastic. So let's do this, okay? Now, what I want you to do is, I want you to think of an embarrassing event that happened in your life. Let me share my event with you, okay? When I was 8 years old, I was in 4th standard, and my parents and my 3 elder sisters, they all were, looking to, make sure that I do well in my life. So they were all trying to parent me. And one of my sisters, there was in the school competition, there was an elocution competition to speak about a freedom fighter. So one of my sisters made me prepare the speech on freedom fighter Lokmanya Tilak. And I prepared the speech and she made me rote learn it. And just before a day of the actual competition, she woke me in the middle of the night and she said, okay, start speaking. I stood and I started speaking. I spoke the entire speech and she said, very good, you're well done, you're going to do very well in the competition. Next day I went to the school, and from the junior KG to the 10th standard, all the students were there in the assembly hall. Their parents, teachers, principal, everybody was in the assembly hall. And my turn came. The moment my turn came, I stood there on the stage, and looking at all of these people, I froze. I blanked out. I didn't remember a single word from that speech. And I started crying. My teacher took me away from the stage. And for the days to come, most people literally teased me, bullied me, and shamed me for not able to speak. Anybody has gone through some sort of that event where you were embarrassed? And I literally felt that I don't want to go to the school again because there were a handful of people. Those are always teasing me and shaming me and making me feel that I'm not good enough. Right? So I kept feeling this way. And that event created a big dent on my mind. What happened with that event? Let me share this with you. And this exactly happens in your life too, okay? Thank you for sharing that it resonates with you. Thank you. So the event that may have happened in your life, that may have turned into embarrassing event, whether you were exposed to teasing or bullying in your life. Just put it in your context, whichever is your context, okay? If it happened at home, if it happened in extended family, if it happened in school, college, anywhere in your life, okay, if it happened. Now, when that event happens, the first emotion comes up as an anger. Why do you feel angry? Because you're powerless and you're helpless. You can't deal with it. And you can't keep making people shut their mouth. So you feel angry. With the anger comes shame that, oh, I'm not so good enough. I wish if I was not like this. I wish if I was not so stupid. And with the shame comes unworthiness. You start feeling that I'm not worthy of any sort of a praise or any sort of appreciation or any sort of a love. Your mind associates any sort of a failure, okay, any sort of a failure in that has happened in your life or is happening in your life as an embarrassing event. Now remember one thing, even successful people take 17% decisions that are successful decisions. Their 83% decisions are failed. But they don't focus on that because their mind does not associate the failures as anger, shame, and unworthiness. But people like you and me, those who have been raised in an environment which was extremely critical, or where people constantly you felt that you were judging you and they were constantly telling you that you're not good enough by their actions or otherwise verbally, you associate any kind of a failure as anger, shame, and unworthiness. How many of you have felt powerless and helpless when you failed at something or somebody rejected you? Right? Now, these are exact emotions that come up in your space. So far, you're not aware of them. These are the reasons you procrastinate. These emotions are the reason you're anxious. These emotions are the reason that you're fearful. These emotions are the reason that you're overthinking. Now, are you getting into the detail of it? Are you understanding? It's not that easy. If getting over procrastination was easy, it wouldn't have been a $1 trillion industry. Everybody making sense now. Why so many people procrastinate? Because you're not dealing with the real problem. These are the emotions that you are going through constantly in your space. Now, every time you'll be put on the spotlight, whether it's in a boardroom meeting, whether it's in your interview, whether it's in an exam, whether it's in a relationship, anywhere, if you're in a spotlight, if you're getting attention from 1 people to 10 people to 100 people, your mind is immediately going to connect with the event that has happened in the past where you failed and you were rejected. The moment that happens, the old memory will get triggered. Like in my case, the old memory is the 80-year-old me. That memory gets triggered and it creates a neural pathway from the brain to the body. A road is created where the adrenaline and cortisol is releasing constantly and sending stress hormone to my body. Now I need to cope because you know what, when I was younger, it was okay to cry, right? Because nobody would say anything to you. But today you are in a situation where you cannot cry. You have to put up a facade that you are a strong person. Is this making sense, everyone? When you grow up, you do not have an opportunity to cry or throw tantrum or to tell the world anything. When you grow up, you have to face the situation bravely. That's what the world teaches you. However you are internally feeling, it doesn't matter. So then your 3 coping mechanisms come up. Every time you will experience stress, you'll either become rigid, you'll become a person, this is my way or highway. Only if I feel and think this is right, I'm going to do it. Otherwise, I'm not going to do it. A lot of people in the world do not take the opportunities because they don't think they are ready for that opportunity. How many of you have ever told yourself that this is not right? That person is wrong, I am right. I'm not ready to take this opportunity. How many of you have been into the rigid formats? Type rigid or R in the chat box. Second coping mechanism comes is perfectionism. I turned into a perfectionist eventually because I never felt that I'm ready, because I never felt that I'm going to do a good job. So I kept procrastinating, and after procrastination, I became a perfectionist where I would not prepare the presentation. I would not do things till the last minute. How many of you are like that, the last minuters? And then when you submit that proposal or that presentation, you feel sad that you could have done a better job. Why did you wait till the last minute? Right? And the third one is comedian. People start cracking jokes and mocking on themselves only so that the other people will not do it to them. And when you become a rigid perfectionist or a comedy person, there's a lot of pressure to put up that facade. Right? A lot of pressure on you to put up that facade. And that pressure then makes you procrastinate, create anxiety, fears, and self doubt in your space. If you got an awareness, type A in the chat box because this is still superficial. I am still going deeper. Fantastic. Good job. Now let's see what happens, what conversation goes on in your mind. The three minds, right? Unconscious, subconscious, and your conscious mind. So let's see your unconscious expectation set point. It's a system of layers, often going deeper into your past. So your intellect says, stop being angry. Stop being foolish. Why are you becoming like why are you talking like a comedian? Why are you trying to be perfect? This is not needed. Just do it. How many times you tell ourselves, just do it, it's fine. Your conscious mind says that you feel like a fraud. I feel like a fraud trying to be that funny when I'm not really happy. I'm feeling different internally. I'm working too hard for the returns that I get. I don't need to be perfect. All of these conversations go on in our mind, yes or no? You don't have to be anxious. You can just take action. There's no problem. Even if you fail, it's okay. We are all great motivators, right? We all keep telling this to ourselves, but actually what's happening in your unconscious? Let's see here. Unconscious belief says, I like the approval and positive attention that I get when I'm funny. Or when I deliver at 1000% in the work. When I do things perfectly, people just appreciate me. Because internally, I don't feel loved and I don't feel appreciated. I like the safety of power I feel when I get angry at people. How many of you have noticed this? When you get angry at someone, you feel powerful. Yeah. If I can hurt or scare them, they won't criticize me. So you're actually very insecure internally, and that's why you are getting angry on other people. If I'm not getting positive attention from these strategies like rigidity, perfectionism, or comedy, they will be making fun of me and criticize me. I fear the criticism and emotions of unworthiness that I get, and I feel I don't like it. And it triggers the unconscious memory, which says that without these compensating coping behaviors, I will feel the painful emotions from that memory of shame and unworthiness that I learned to believe about myself from the time that I was in school or I was younger. And I don't want to feel that way. So, then rather than taking the action, it's better to create procrastination. So rather than taking action, it's better to feel anxious. So rather than taking action, it's okay to stay confused. It's okay to stay fearful. Consciously, you don't want it. But unconsciously, you're holding on to all that because at the end, you do not want to go through the same pain again. Take a deep breath, everybody. How many of you got some great insights right now? Type GI in the chat box. This is an extremely crucial insight. Even if you see, because from today onwards, your life is not going to be the same. Every time you'll procrastinate or you'll have anxiety, etc., you will start thinking differently. Because now you'll realize why this is happening to you. And you will find a way to change that coping mechanism, because your procrastination, perfectionism, anxiety, fears, all of these are your coping mechanisms. Is this making sense now? They are not your real problems. You have developed them to cope with the real problem, the tiger which was there. If this makes sense now, type MS in the chat box. Fantastic. So that's your unconscious expectation set point. Before we move forward, I want to share with you a case study of Shubham Saini, software engineer. The challenges Shubham was facing when he came for this masterclass was social anxiety, issues from childhood trauma, emotional trauma, addiction. I had a very low unconscious expectation set point. As soon as I was through the first day of Ultimate Success Champion, Dr. Meghna made me realize my old conditioning and helped me break them and establish new thought patterns. The results that I got is I started reaping the benefits immediately. I got a raise, my salary increased from 6.8 lakhs per annum to 10.27 lakhs per annum in the same company at the same position. I got an opportunity to lead my team for a long-term QA activity for a brand new project. I have become 5 times more assertive. I feel the path becoming clearer. This was the best decision I made, and nothing matches the presence of a real coach in my life. And now, after a couple of years, this is a couple of years back this happened, what I want to say about autopilot here is, he's done and out with the program, right? But right now also the results are changing, because now he always wanted to become a script writer, a film writer. He studied film writing with the additional time that now he could create in his hand. In the last 1 year, he wrote the film, he produced the film, and his film also got awarded. So he's not only doing extremely well in his job, but he also started pursuing his passion and started creating greater results for himself. And all of this is now on autopilot. How many of you have those things in your space, that your long-standing dreams that you never have pursued because you're so stuck in your life? How would your life look like if you start pursuing those dreams? How many of you want this kind of results in your life? Type I want, because that's your reaffirming your brain that this is what you want in your life. Type I want in the chat box. Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay, let's go to the next point now. Okay. Next point is release your childhood patterns. Now, what are these patterns? How do we develop these patterns? So you want to do a small experiment with me here? Yeah? You would love to do an experiment with me? Type yes in the chat box. So let's do this experiment, okay? What I want you to do is, I want you to put both your hands out like this. Put both your hands out like this. Now, close your hands and make a fist of it. And notice which thumb went on top. For me, it's my right thumb. Let me know in the chat box, which is your thumb that went on top. Left, right. Yeah, different thumbs, right? Now let's do it one more time. Put it out again. And do it again. And see which thumb went on top. Same thumb. Okay, fantastic. Okay, fabulous. Now let's do this. Put both your hands out, and this time deliberately change the thumb. If it was right, put left on top. If it was left, put right on top. Tell me, how do you feel when you change the thumb? In your body, what's the level of discomfort that you feel? At the scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest discomfort, 10 being the highest discomfort, what do you feel? Weird, different, 8, 5, 9, 7, 3, 6, 10. 10 plus plus, right? Fantastic. Now, can I give you a truth bomb? Type TB in the chat box if I can give you a truth bomb. TB. Truth bomb. Yeah. So the truth is, when you were a baby, you never did this. Okay? The babies lie down either like this or like this. You'll never see a baby lying down like this. So when you were growing up, you did this activity enough number of times. And your reptilian brain was focusing on this activity. It's a pretty mundane activity, right? So the reptilian brain is always conserving the energy to fight the tiger or to run away from the tiger. Now, when this activity was happening again and again, reptilian brain was looking at autopiloting that activity. It's wasting a lot of time. There's a thought, then there's a decision, then your actions is happening, and then which thumb to go up, which thumb to go down. All of this is happening, right? So the reptilian brain scanned how many times you put your right thumb on top and how many times you put your left thumb on top. For me, 7 out of 10 may be right thumb on the top. Bam! Your reptilian brain created neural pathways from your brain to the body. So next time when I do this, automatically my right thumb goes on top. Now the moment I try to change the thumb, it's taking more energy from the reptilian brain. And now the reptilian brain is getting irritated. Why do you want to change the action? It's taking more energy. So the discomfort that you feel is your reptilian brain, which is in your cells of the body now, is sending a message to your major brain and saying that this is uncomfortable. Go back to the old previous thumb. Go back to the previous thumb. This is not right. And the moment you go back to the previous thumb that was feeling right, you suddenly start feeling better. You were not born with this habit. You developed this habit over a period of time. And you're just changing one thumb is so much difficult for you. Imagine the patterns and the habits that you're trying to change in your life. How many of you got a huge bulb on right now? Type HBO. The habits that you're trying to change, your reptilian brain has developed for a reason, so that it can save the energy. Now suddenly you want to change your habit. You can't wake up in the morning, but you want to wake up in the morning. And you didn't take reptilian brain in consideration. How is it going to change? Let me give an example here, okay? A family example. Your reptilian brain is like a father. Your mammalian brain is like a mother. And your neocortex is a child. Now you see, children are extremely smart, right? They're very smart. So say one day a child comes home and tells the mother, Mama, I've got a greatest of the idea. Our life is going to completely change. Yeah, it's not going to be the same. It's like, Papa will not have to work so hard and we are going to have a great lifestyle. We are going to travel across the world. We are going to do this and we're going to do that. Now the mother is extremely excited for child, right? Mother says, wow, because you're such a genius. What should I do for you? How do I support you? So the child said, look, Mama, I want energy. Because to change my life, to change our life, to execute this new idea, I want a lot of energy. So mother says, of course, beta, I'm going to give you a lot of energy. Dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphin is released in your body when you set that goal on the 1st of January. And the first week is amazing, right? You're super, super happy. You're doing everything. You're waking up without alarm. You're going for workout. You're finishing the reports. You're doing this. You're doing that. You're so excited. You're like a go-getter. Reptilian brain is still not involved. After a week, what happens is, now your reptilian brain starts seeing, the father starts seeing the mother and son doing some work together and not involving him. So when the son goes to sleep, the father catches the mother and says, "What's happening between you and your son? You're not sharing it with me." So the mother says, she gets scared, but she says, "Thank God you asked me this question. But you know what? Our son is genius. What an idea he has come up with. Our life is going to change. All this hard work that you do, you don't have to do, and we'll be able to travel across the world, and we'll have great life. We'll be living amazing life, and we'll have lots of money." So the father doesn't say anything. He just smiles, smokes, and says, "Acha," and he goes to sleep. So the mother kind of like, her heartbeat skips. So she asks the father, she said, "Are you not happy with this?" So father says, "No, let him do what he wants to do. I have stopped talking only now." So the mother, worried, goes to sleep. Next day, when the mother is preparing to give the energy to the child, she has that night conversation in her mind where she starts worrying that what if things are not going to go well. That's the second week of January. When you start telling yourself, "I did such hard work for 7 days. I went to the gym. I did not eat cake. I did not do this. I deserve one holiday. One small piece of cake is not a problem." Okay? There are about 25% of the people in the world drop out from their New Year's goals on the second week of January. Now, if at all you pass the second week, somewhere in the third week, the father is watching this whole drama still going on and tells the mother, "Oh, you're still continuing to support him. He's still going to do it." So the mother says, "Of course, didn't I tell you that he's still going to do it?" So the father says, "Do you remember when he was 8-year-old, what happened?" So mother says, "What? He went for that speaking competition. He couldn't speak, and then everybody was teasing him, and he felt extremely horrible. And he said, 'No, I'm not going to ever go and speak in front of people.' And he would be so shy, and he would not talk to people. And we struggled a lot to, make him change himself." Mother says, "Yeah, but he was 8-year-old. Now he's grown up." So father says, "Yeah, I wish, but remember 10th standard? That girl rejected him, and 2 months he was crying and he didn't study properly. He didn't get good college." Mother says, "Yeah, but again, he was small, no? 14-year-old, now he's grown up." Father says, in college, you remember engineering college, what happened? He got into the wrong company, and then, he strayed and he flunked in exams, and his 1 year got wasted. Mother says, "Yeah, but he was young, no? Now he's grown up." Father says, "You remember the last time in the office, what happened? His boss gave him a project to complete. He couldn't complete till the last minute. And then project was taken away from him and given to somebody else. And then he was feeling extremely depressed. He didn't want to go to the college, and he didn't want to go to the office anymore." So now mother starts feeling heavier and heavier and heavier, remembering all those past incidents that have happened. And then the father finally hits the nail in the coffin and says, "Look, if you don't understand this, I'm not really looking forward for our child's another failure. I love him and I want him to be safe and comfortable. There's no problem in our life. We have food, shelter, clothes, we have internet. We are not dying tomorrow. There's no need that he has to go and create big success. Big success is not for us. We are ordinary people and we can live ordinary. Why to dream so big?" And the mother at that point of time starts feeling extremely uncomfortable, the mammalian brain. And the father says, "Look, if you still try to support him, you have to do it on your own. I'm not going to be there with you all." And the moment the mammalian brain hears this from the reptilian brain, that the reptilian brain is not going to support, it starts feeling anxiety and palpitations. And then the father tells the mother, "Whom will you trust more? You and I have spent 2.5 million years together. Your son and you know each other only for 10,000 years. If you want to trust him, by all means, go ahead and do it. But you're not going to get the success." And the moment the reptilian brain withdraws himself from the equation, the mammalian brain goes back to the reptilian brain. And by the end of the third week, There are 92% of the people across the world drop out from their goals and resolutions that they have set for themselves. Which category do you fall in? First week, second week, third week? Think about it. Take a deep breath, everybody. These are our patterns that we have developed as a child. How many of you will remember this story? And how many of you have actually experienced this happening in your life? Will you go and share this story with someone today? The science behind success and failure. This whole story of mother, father, and child. Yeah, it's a very profound story. This actually happens in our families, where the father, even though the child is very, very smart, whose directions or whose decisions are followed in the family? Child's or father's? Father, right? So same goes in your brain. Your reptilian brain's decisions are followed more than your neocortex. And all your habits, the old habits, are in your reptilian and your mammalian brain. So let's now, there are 33 different negative patterns a human being has. We don't have time to deal with all 33. So I'm going to talk about the major 5 patterns that most of us go through, and we need to break these patterns to change our life. So if you are ready, type ready or R in the chat box. Fantastic. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Let's see. Are you an adult who's confused? You can't think independently. You overthink and you don't take action. You procrastinate. Or are you a child? In your childhood, did this happen in your life? The adults in your family made all the decisions for you and did not allow you to make mistakes to protect you. How many of you resonate that? If you are a confused, overthinking person, does it happen to you as a child that your family made the decisions for you and they didn't allow you to make the decisions to protect you? Or when you made a decision and that mistake happened or the decision didn't go right, your family criticized you so much and said, see, we told you you're not equipped to make the decisions. How many of you fall into that category? Type I in the chat box. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. The second pattern is, as an adult, do you seek validation and approval? You seek negative attention by making silly mistakes or taking wrong decisions, falling into the wrong patterns again and again, wrong relationships, wrong career decisions, making mistakes again and again. And then you feel frustrated and insecure. And you have low self-esteem, low self-image. And you are a perfectionist. How many of you fall into this category? Type I in the chat box. As a child, did you go through something like this? You went through comparison and you were expected to be perfect. How many of you fall into this category? Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. The third pattern. You keep giving more and receive back very little. People take you for granted. You cannot say no. And you are a people's pleaser. How many of you are into this category? Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Now see if this happened in your childhood. Even though you were a child, you played referee in the fights and arguments. You were used as a middleman to solve arguments between the adults. Is this you? Exactly like your childhood, right? Yeah, I know. It's a classic textbook behavior that happens. See which pattern that you fall into, and if that has been coming from this childhood behaviors and childhood patterns, the experiences that you've had, because that's what you need to work on. The next pattern is you feel constant anxiety, fear of failure, fear of rejection, You dream big but constantly procrastinate. How many of you fall into this pattern? Yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing. Now, see if this has happened to you as a child. You were used as a punching bag. You were blamed and shamed for everything that went wrong. You were the scapegoat of the family. Yeah, thank you for sharing. By the way, I had all of them, okay? So don't worry about it. Is there anybody who's seeing many patterns in them? Yeah, I get it. I get it. Is if you have a highly volatile, unsafe environment as a child, emotionally, there may be multiple patterns in your space. Unfortunately, nobody taught back then the parenting. Everybody had children and then they figured out what needs to be done. And these patterns are in us for generations. Our parents behaved that way, their parents behaved that way, and it continued to, seep into our lives. And sometimes, is there any parents here? Do you observe that you're behaving exactly similarly with your children too? I know, right? Exactly. So it's time for you to change, because otherwise you will see that your children will create the similar kind of obstacles and they will get stuck in their life too. You don't want that. So you want to release your patterns so that they get a better life in their future. Are you an adult who has issues in negotiating? You know you deserve better, but you settle for less. You self-sabotage opportunities or you don't take them as internally you feel you're not ready. You neglect yourself and your needs. How many of you hear of this pattern? Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. In childhood, your feelings were not important. Whenever you tried expressing yourself, you were asked to keep quiet and move on. How many of you had experienced this pattern of upbringing in your life? How many of you have got multiple patterns right now? Tell me how many you got out of 5. How many patterns you had? 3, 5, 2, 5, 2. Okay, see, you may have 1 pattern or you may have 5. A pattern is a pattern. It's like a weed in the garden. You know what does a weed does in the garden? It eats up all the nutrients and it really creates destruction in the garden, right? Your mind is like a garden. And there are so many beautiful seeds. These goals that you have in your life are the seeds in that garden. But these weeds that are there as patterns, they suck all the nutrition and they literally destruct the entire mind and do not allow you to receive the results that you want to create in your life. I want to share with you one case study here, and this is a guy who came to us in his 50s. Okay, he's a business owner. He's got 2 daughters. They were young adults back then when he came, and he wanted to have more money so that he can educate them better, they get them married properly. He was struggling to have his own house for a very long time, and he was in a family business. But his major problem was he came saying that I forget everything. I don't remember. And every day, say 3-4 hours at home and 3-4 hours in the office, my family or my office staff always are looking for the things that I have kept. And it wastes a lot of time. So could you please help me with the memory? Anybody here who has got memory issues? Forgetfulness, memory issues, etc., etc.? Yeah? I know. So, you know what? If you have memory issues, it's nothing to do with anything problem in your brain, but everything to do with the past baggage that you're carrying. Now, in this person, his name is Bhadresh. In his case, what happened is he was the youngest in the family and it was a big joint family. So, when he was younger, everybody else was taking decisions on his behalf. And every time he wanted to voice opinion or say something about anything like giving his view, people will shut him off and they say, keep quiet, you don't understand, you're small, we'll do it. Bhadresh grew up feeling neglected and feeling not loved and appreciated. So what he started doing as a child, he started hiding important things from his family, and then the whole family members would start looking for those important things, and they would realize that Bhadresh must have hidden it somewhere, so they would start paying attention to him. And in this negative way, he would start seeking attention and love and appreciation. Now, this Bhadresh, from that behavior, that habit that he developed as a child, grew up into an adult, but he forgot what in the first place, why did he develop that coping mechanism? And only in his 50s, when he came to us, he realized that forgetfulness was his coping mechanism to disassociate from the painful trauma that he was every single day going, of not feeling loved and not feeling attended, feeling neglected. And when he started working with us in this triple R technique, his life just changed under 6 months' time. You want to see the case study of this guy? It's a very, very inspirational case study. Type "Hi Bhadresh" in the chat box and listen to his case study. It will be very transformative for you to realize from where to where he has transitioned. So everybody says "Hi Bhadresh" and let's play his.
Hi, I'm Bhadresh Thakur. We're into fragrance manufacturing. We have a parent company by the name of SPAC Aromas. My wife was going for medical help or such. So I was a guy who's, not a particular guy. Kahan kuch bhi chhod do, kahin bhi rakho, 9 or 10 times. I never remember where my wallet is, where my car keys are, where my specs are. It was frustration, like keep anything everywhere, disorder, and that shit. We're wasting more time looking for it where you could have utilized, it travels the mind, Main important thing, we are looking for a house for 10 years and we couldn't get through it. That's one of the problems. Finances, that's another problem. So all those issues, that's how he started seeing her. And we worked on a lot of things. My manager, we used to win 5,000, 10,000 balances, sir. Balance bada. It's gone to lakhs in years time. That's pretty good, A year's time she was with me. We've done a lot of online sites. We sell on Amazon, we sell on PropShop, we sell on Nykaa, and Nykaa response is remarks. The response is very good. Year and a half, we're into fragrance manufacturing, scented candles, diffuser oils, sleeping mist, and we're coming out with reed diffusers, the vaporizer set, bath salts, and handmade soaps is another next plan. We're going for it. I know I'm a very creative person, but it was frustration more because I could not deliver what I am capable of, what I deserve to do. Creation is like 100% into it, You need peace. Silent peace of mind is the main important thing for creativity, and if it's not there, it's not helping, My creativity will take much longer than I used to do, If I do it in, say, about 1 hour, it's like 2 hours, 3 hours, because so lethargic, so unorganized. But yes, now it's much better, much faster. Earlier, I had 10,000 things on my head. I've cleared them. Another thing that I've learned from her is assign people jobs. Best is, the higher you grow, the more free you should be. That was torture. This is enjoyment. You're tensed all the time. Shit, abhi ye karna hai. Shit, my daughters, I have to pay for a fees. 6 months time she's going abroad. Shaadi karni hai, ye kar. But now things will happen. Just pain face, relax, chill, enjoying life, chilling life. Another thing in working. I used to draw around 15 lakhs an annum, but just after her, we're making 35 plus lakhs per annum. My family business has grown by about 15 to 20%. We had a turnover of 20 to 23 crores. Now we're on 27 crores of a business. We travel to US, we travel to Europe, we travel to UK. My aim in the next 5 to 10 years is I want my products to be sold in each and every country of the world. And with our session, I'm sure what happened. I would like to give one message, if you want to grow mentally, emotionally, and financially, please go to Dr. Meena.
Was it inspiring for all of you? Would you like such results in your life too? Type "I want" in the chat box. Amazing, right? Inspiring story, this guy. So there's no age limit. You can be younger, you can be in your 50s, 60s. Anytime you decide to overcome your patterns, it can be done. The best part of your brain is the neuroplasticity. Your brain is constantly changing and evolving. Every single night when you go to sleep, the brain is rewiring. But unfortunately, because you're not doing the work in a right way, it's getting rewired for the same old things. It's not getting rewired for the new things, right? So it's your job to now figure out what are the old patterns that you're holding on to and that you need to let go because they don't serve you anymore. Is this been insightful for you? Type I in the chat box if it's been insightful for you. Thank you. Now is our time to go to the next topic, which is rewiring your reticular activation system. Now, first to understand what is reticular activation system. So let's see here. Do you see the green circle and there's this blue shaft of your brain? That is your reticular activation system. This is a part of your reptilian brain. And reticular activation system is it's a bundle of nerves that is there in your brain. And this bundle of nerve is like a nightclub bouncer. Okay, what does a nightclub bouncer does? Or what does a security outside the building does? Let's take this example, okay? So if there is a security guard outside the building. When the residents of the building come, what does the security guard do? Allows the residents to come in the building. The security guard does not check whether it's a good resident or whether it's a bad resident. Since it's a resident, they allow them to come. But when the strangers come, what does the security guard does? Ask them to wait out, right? So reticular activation system is a security guard of your brain. You get 60 to 70,000 thoughts every single day. And because your brain, even if it is a computer, supercomputer, but it cannot process all the 60 to 70,000 thoughts. So what it does, the security guard, the reticular activation system, filters the thoughts. Now, how does it filter the thought? It filters the thought based on the past experiences that you've had in your life. Now, these past experiences could be good or bad, just like good residents and the bad residents. It doesn't matter. As long as those experiences are part of your life, the security guard will allow those thoughts to enter and go into the building, go into the reptilian brain. But your goals and your dreams and your desires are something that you have not yet experienced. So these are like strangers for this security guard, and it keeps it out of the building. That's the reason most often when you do visualization or meditation or do affirmations for 15, 20, 30 minutes of the day, it doesn't create an impact in your overall life. Because for the rest of the 23 and a half hours, the same old experiences are entering into your reptilian brain to create the results in your daily life. Making sense, everybody? Now type MS in the chat box. Your reticular activation system is a navigation system of your brain. It's like Google Maps. And just like, your Ola, Uber or Swiggy and Zomato, there are default settings, right? Default orders. Same way, the reticular activation system has a default order system. So for your reticular activation system, the results that you're creating today and the results that you have created yesterday is a default system. So it automatically navigates through the life, creating the same results tomorrow. It plays a very big role in filtering out the information. Like today, all of this information is going into your neocortex. But the transformation does not happen with neocortex. Transformation can only happen when the reptilian brain comes in place. And that's the biggest problem. The implementation is the biggest problem of people. Because the reticular activation system does not allow any of this information to go into the reptilian brain. It says, stop, you're a stranger. There is no password for you to enter the gates of your own reptilian brain. Because reticular activation system only takes the information that validates your current belief system. And this, people always say, I don't get opportunities or I'm not lucky. You don't see the opportunities with your two eyes. You see the opportunities through your reptilian brain, your reticular activation system. The parameters, the lens that is there on your reticular activation system, the way you perceive yourself and the way you perceive the world. It helps you to find those results in your life on autopilot. This is a very big component when it comes to autopilot. And this reticular activation system is constantly influencing your decisions and your actions. Most people say this, that a transformation is difficult. Nobody loves change, right? Nobody loves change. The only human being who loves change is a baby in the wet diaper. Correct? And let's be honest, neither you nor me, none of us are babies in the wet diapers. So we don't like change. Because rewiring the reticular activation system is a very, very important and a very big task. So we are entering into that space right now. But let's understand first what's happening in your reticular activation system. From here onwards, we'll call it RAS. Okay, so we will save some time. So look at what happens in RAS, how it develops. So if suppose when you were younger, okay, we all have heard from our parents certain things about us. What have you heard from your parents as a child all the time? Like my father always used to talk about me that I am very stubborn. What all you have heard about yourself as a child? Some parents will say that my child always avoids work. Like my father say, my daughter is stubborn. My son always is so angry, lazy, adamant. My child is shy. What else have you heard from your parents? Very regularly and repeatedly. Now, as a child, what happened is, when your parents keep saying this again and again, okay, what happens is the parents' belief is my child is angry, or my child is stubborn, or my child is lazy. Now the parent only notices when the child is stubborn, angry, introvert, or lazy. The parent does not notice the other rest of the times when the child is different. Because their belief is my child is stubborn, so they will only notice when the child is stubborn. Now this reinforces the child, because the child starts internalizing the feeling the parent has about them. So if my father felt that I am stubborn, at a very young age, I started internalizing that yes, I am stubborn. And eventually it became a self-fulfilling prophecy, creating a righteous mindset where I would always act stubborn, where I would say that this is the only way, I'm going to only do it this way. So I was not flexible at all in my approach. And that stalled my success. That stalled my results that I wanted to create. The child in you actually becomes more of what you have heard as a child from your parents. Making sense, everyone? Do you feel that that's happening in your life right now also? Yeah, we all have heard from our parents these things. Now, if you see this, how it is going to now perpetuate in your life when you become an adult. The voice of your parent has now become your voice. As you grow up into an adult, you will keep telling yourself, I am lazy. What if I fail again? Oh, I'm so stubborn. I'm not focused. No one gives me opportunities. Their voice translates now into your own voice, because that reticular activation system is developed at that young age. Now your belief starts developing about yourself is I am not good enough. And your focus will only go on your failures and not your success. So we'll only focus on the negative situations in your life and not the positive ones. And this then again reinforces within you That see, I was right. I never get opportunities. I'm not good enough. People don't like me. And this turns into a self-fulfilling prophecy where actually you keep delaying taking actions, fearing failures. Everybody making sense now how your reticular activation is working for you. Yeah? Awesome. Fantastic. Now let's see this. What's your biggest goal of your life? Let's put it out in the chat box. What's your biggest goal of your life? Financial freedom? Success in business? Promotion? CA? What else is your biggest goal of your life? Best health? Psychiatrist? Becoming a millionaire? Bliss? Working in the welfare of society and humanity? Spiritual enlightenment? Successful clothing business? Government employee? Fantastic. Now, if you look at all of this, okay, when you think of that big goal, you're all excited and motivated, right? Right? But when you want to take action towards that big goals, what happens? This is exactly what happens in your reticular activation system. It keeps that goal at a stranger level. It doesn't allow it to happen in your life. And how does it do it? I'm going to give you the ABC to rewire your reticular activation system. Type ABC in the chat box if you want this template. Super. Okay, take this. The first A is appearance. Okay, appearance. What is an appearance that you need to work on? So, do you neglect your own needs? Are you someone who compromises on the quality of good food? Just notice it, okay? Do you keep your environment unclean? You look in the mirror and you see your flaws. You give excuses to exercise. You buy expensive cars, jewelry, but when it comes to investing in yourself, you give excuses. How many of you need to work on your A's? Type A in the chat box. Thank you, thank you. B, behaviors. You can't ask for help. You say you are not ready for opportunity. You don't want to meet new people. You're overly critical about yourself. You procrastinate and you lack focus. You're anxious and you're fearful. How many of you into this category that you will need to work on? Type B in the chat box. Thank you, thank you. And now C is for communication. You can't trust people easily. A big problem. Because if you can't trust people, then you will not be successful. When someone gives you a compliment, you are in a hurry to return it. Self-image issues. You find it difficult to have deep conversations. You want to have superficial conversations. You attract toxic relationships. You cannot negotiate with the other person about your demands and what you want. And you cannot say no. How many of you need to work on C's? Now for the next 90 days, what I want you to do is, I want you to choose one area, either A, B or C. At this point of time, I want you to take a screenshot of this slide. because these are the areas of work, specific areas of work you need to be working on for you to become successful. So take a screenshot and type SS in the chat box if you have taken the screenshot. And what are you going to focus on for the next 90 days? Is it A, is it B, or is it C? A, B, C? Okay, cool. You've chosen for yourself. That's great. Okay. Now see what happens with the blocks that are there in your space in this ABC. The blocks in this ABC creates in your career making bad career decisions. It impacts your business by hiring wrong people and not able to ask for advance from customers. In your job, you're constantly in fear of someone taking over and not taking or asking for opportunities. How many of you fall into this category? Type I in the chat box if you fall into this category. In your relationships, you're not able to say no or set boundaries. Attracting toxic relationships, feeling taken for granted, and giving out more than receiving. How it impacts your money. Spending money on wrong things. Instead of investing in yourself, you're putting that money into buying something which is frivolous, which is not important. Trying to show off and creating debts. Living paycheck to paycheck. Monthly, salary-wise. No assets, no savings, nothing. Making bad money choices. You can't ask for advance or raise. Health. Eating junk. Excuses for not taking care of yourself and your health. You procrastinate on taking, health fitness challenges or fitness work. And laziness, which is the area that you're going to focus on for the next 90 days. Don't choose everything, choose one. Which area will you be working on for the next 90 days? Send it to me and let's see what you're going to do. For 90 days, you're going to focus on A, B, C, one of that. And for 90 days, you're going to focus on one area out of these four. Career, relationship, money, health. Okay, most of you are asking for money and health and career. Okay, great, awesome. So you've chosen for yourself. That's great. Because remember, these blocks are like those small dams in the river. The river is like a flow of money, or whatever opportunities you want. And these dams, they block that flow of opportunities and money. Because of these blocks, you're living in the survival zone, which they don't allow you to create your destiny or live your greatest life. How many of you understand what I'm saying? Type I in the chat box if you understand it. And you know what? To change yourself, to transform your life, you have to make a selling, okay? And you know what is the toughest sale you will make in your life? Selling yourself that you can invest that time, money, energy in yourself. Because if you don't sell that you are capable, if you don't tell yourself that you can transform and you can become your successful version, nobody is going to do that for you. Nobody is going to change your life. It's only you who can change your life. At the soul level, we are all equals. But when you go into the marketplace, we all have different value on ourselves. You are a product into this world, whether you like it or no. And just like in the companies, when you go for the job, people pay you based on their return on investment, right? Same way, people give you respect, love, money, opportunities in the world based on their return on investment. So if you are not a high valued product in the world, you're not going to get paid in return the way you want. People think that they earn money based on their capabilities. But honestly, people don't earn what they are capable of earning. People earn what they are conditioned to earn. And if a bad person becomes rich, they spend that money on wars, weapons, and boundaries. But if a good person becomes rich, they spend their money on making this world a better place. So isn't it our responsibility as a good person to make this world a better place? Tell me yes or no. So where should you focus on? Where should you focus on? Where should you focus your money, time, and energy on? Yourself. Not outside. Not on others, or not on the things that are frivolous that they don't pay you back. These blocks are like monkey traps. Do you know how monkeys are trapped in the jungle? So they take the coconut shell, they put the peanuts into that shell, and they put it on the tree. Monkeys go there, they seize the peanut inside the coconut, and they put their hand inside and grabs the peanut. Now the hole is so small that when they grab the peanut, they can't come out. So they have a choice whether to leave the peanuts and come out, or whether to hold on to the peanuts and get trapped. And guess what happens in the jungles? The monkeys get trapped. So what is your trap? Which peanuts are you holding on to that's not allowing you to change your life? And how long do you want to hold on to those old peanuts that are not helping you? How many of you got a bulb on right now? Type BO in the chat box if you got a bulb on. Huge bulb on? Awesome, fantastic. How many of you are ready to roar like a lion or not like a sheep? I'm going to share with you a case study just to test you, okay? Let's see this case study. Dipanshu Jain. So his case study is, after setting my reticular activation system to what I really want on the day 2 of Ultimate Success Champion, on the 4th day after Ultimate Success Champion, I got an offer that gives me 2.5 times more salary. My salary was 23 lakhs and now it is 62 lakhs. When you read this case study, notice how you feel now internally. Are you excited to create the same results for yourself? Do you feel that you want it? Or do you feel pushback? Do you feel that it is too good to be true? What are your emotions right now in your space? And be honest with yourself, okay? Because that's the rewiring that is happening in your space right now. Too good to be true? This won't happen to me? It happened to him. It may not be for me. It's too much. My industry doesn't offer me this. It can be done. I can also be there. How many of you saw yourself being this success story? How many of you saw yourself, your picture, and this result you are showing? Dr. Meghna is showing in the next, whenever the masterclass is, my story will be flashed like that. There you go, right? Whatever came up in your space is your unconscious expectation set point. These are your patterns, and this is your reticular activation system. What you did today is the 3 stages of brain wiring. The first stage is of information. Today you took a lot of information. The second stage is of implementation. Now taking action. How many of you have that implementation problem? Exactly, right? That's why you're here. And the third is repetition. It becoming your second nature. That's autopilot. Right now you're at information stage. From information to getting into the autopilot stage takes a little time. I was in this stage for very long time. I'm a doctor, right? And I've studied a lot. I've got a lot of degrees. And till 2008, till the age of 36 years, I was only in information stage. I was only thinking of creating great results. But I could not. because there was so much plaguing me behind the blocks that I had. In 2008, I suffered massive losses in my business and I created a huge debt of 58 lakhs. My CA told me to shut the business and go back to the self-employment and pay off my debts. And I told my CA, no, my objective to start the business is to give more time to my son and have better life and lifestyle. So I can't shut the business, I'll work harder. But the same year, what happened is in 2008, my mother felt critically ill. Now, I was the youngest child of the family, but I was a doctor. And everybody thought, because we all were middle class, but everybody thought that now that I've started the business, I probably have a lot of money. So the entire responsibility of my mother's illness fell on me. And I willingly took the responsibility because obviously I loved my mother. So I put her into the best hospital in Mumbai. And she was in a critical stage. So she needed a life support system. She was in an intensive care. And you can imagine the best 5-star hospital in Mumbai. I did not have the money. I was broke. I borrowed more money to pay the bills of the hospital every day. I did not tell this to anybody. More than that, we were getting her medicines from abroad because those medicines were not available in India that time. After 22 days of my mother's illness and hospitalization, her treating doctor told me that they can't treat her anymore and they can't even keep her on the life support system. So we have to take the life support system off. On 14th September 2008, my mother passed on because we took out the life support system. I saw her literally, dying like a fish who didn't get the water without oxygen. And this broke me completely. I felt so ashamed and guilty that the mother who has given me so much, I couldn't save her in spite of doing everything. And I felt that I'm so useless and so not good enough. I can't even run a business or neither I could save my mother. I slipped into depression slowly. I started feeling alone amongst all the people around me. I started getting off from the world. I started gaining weight, and before I could understand, I was already a thyroid and PCOD patient. I was fighting with everybody around me. My business partnerships broke because people couldn't take my fights anymore. I was very rigid in my approach. I was fighting at home too. And most importantly, because of that whole depression and overthinking, every single day I would drag myself out of the bed. I would sit in the corner of the room and I would start talking to myself in terms of I would start talking about what happened to me. Why did this happen to me? I would ask questions like that. I would talk to God and say, why did you do this to me? I'm such a good person. I have helped so many people in their life. They could overcome their problems, but I'm not able to overcome my problems. So why did you do this to me? What I have done, what wrong, what mistakes I've done, what karmas I've done bad. And one day, when I was mumbling like this, there was somebody came and tapped on my shoulders. And I turned around to see it was my 7-year-old son, Pratham. And he was shivering and crying literally. And he, held my hand and he said, Mama, please don't die. And that was the first time after a couple of years I actually saw my son properly. And I was shocked to see his eyes because he was also in depression. He was constantly worried and scared that his mother is going to die or something is going to happen in his life. And that was a day, it was my, I woke up to the realization that I'm not alone in this journey. I have my child, I have my family. And for them, I want to create a better life. And to create a better life, I have to first become a better person. I decided to break my own trap that I had in my mind games. I decided in 2010 to invest in myself and my journey, to change my life, to rewire my brain. Remember, I was broke, but I still decided, I took that decision. it gave me a lot of courage because I thought that, okay, if I don't do it now, I will never be able to do it. And I don't want to disappoint my son. I don't want to see my son as a failure, and I want to make sure that I become successful so he has a solid role model in front of him. And when I started investing in myself, the first thing happened in the first year itself, with the helps of coaches and mentors that I found in my life, I reduced my debts to half. In the next 3 years, I started 3 different businesses and became completely debt free. Today, also in these 3 businesses, we have 60 plus people working, and the business is across the world now. More than that, in the pandemic, when people were broke and they were not able to pay their salaries, we were paying advance salaries to all our staff to take care of their families, even in the lockdowns when when the business was not working. I became the role model for my son. Today he's leading different organizations internationally. He has his own business and he's also studying simultaneously. He's just a 21-year-old boy right now. In the last many years now, I have helped more than 7 lakh people to create freedom of money, freedom of choices, and freedom of time. I help them transform their lives and their family's life. And none of this I'm telling you to impress you, but I'm telling you to impress upon you that one decision that I made in my life in 2010, in the next 15 years, look what it has paid me off. I stay in the prime location in Mumbai. I have an ocean facing house. I have all the celebrities living around. And I was born in a very, very humble background. Why I want to tell you this today? Because if an ordinary person like me could do this, I'm 100% sure you can do it too. You know, in our lives, some decisions that we make pay for us for the rest of our life. That decision that I made in 2010 to invest in myself, to rewire my own brain, has paid me off and is still paying me off. But there are some decisions that we don't make in our life, and we continue to pay for them for the rest of our life. Which side are you going to be? Are you going to make that decision today to change your life and invest in yourself? Or are you going to make that decision, oh, this is one of the another master classes, let me go ahead and get out of this and I will attend some other master class, other webinar, and my life will change. Let me tell you what's going to happen. In this information that you got today, I'm 100% sure that you dive deeper today. Was it worth the decision? The decision to come for this class, was it valued for you? So if you got a lot of value from this class, type LOV, lot of value in your chat box. Thank you. Thank you. Okay? But the information is not going to do anything to you. You're sitting on it for a very long time. If you don't take action today, think about your life in the next 5 years, 10 years. What's going to happen? Is it changing on its own? What's happening to your family? It's not changing on its own, right? You're still struggling. You still have those worries, anxieties, confusions, right? So it's your decision today, what you want to do. Are you going to make that commitment to yourself to invest in yourself? Thank you. Thank you for all the love that you're showering on me. And really honestly telling you, nothing of this is impressing you. It's just to impress on you. That an ordinary girl who belonged to an ordinary family, if I could do this, anybody in the world can do it. If you can put your mind to it, and if you can take help from the people, those who have already done it. So how many of you are 100% committed to do that? Yeah. And in this journey, would you like me to hold your hand and show you the path so that you don't go through the trial and error? It took me many years to get where I am today, and I want to do it to all my students in the shortest period of time. But look, in 3 hours, I can't do it. I need minimum 3 days with you to make sure that you rewire your brain completely and you get all the tools and all the techniques to make it happen for yourself. So, are you ready to take this opportunity to hold my hand and go to the next level? So, from here on, I'm going to talk about the advanced program that I'm going to offer you. The program's name is Ultimate Success Champion, and it's a 3-day live workshop. Okay, it's a 3-day live workshop. I'll give you all the details, everything that's happening in this workshop in a moment. But I want to tell you something here. If you give me your 3 days, I assure you freedom from your procrastination, anxiety, and all your overthinking and fears. You'll get immense clarity about what you want to do, when you want to do, and how will you do it. You'll be setting the most powerful goals and setting the total action plan to make your success on autopilot. We have created a solid technology to rewire your brain, a powerful process to create more time and energy in your life. It's a time to make that implementation happen in your life now. But remember, this is not for anyone and everyone. This is only for the people who understand the value of investing in themselves. The only people should take it who are looking to transform your life permanently and massively. People who want to stop procrastinating, set massive goals and achieve them consistently, become the true Ferrari, then you're most welcome to join the program. This program itself will put you in the top 15% of your industry. And this workshop will give you the immense power and ability to overcome your challenges. Who should attend these programs? So if you're an entrepreneur, solopreneur, professional, working professional, teenager, or a parent, this entire program is preparing you for life. Now, I know you want to know the details and how much is the money, etc. But let me share with you step by step, why should you do this program? And why should you not do this program also, okay? You do it only if it benefits you. So after this program, you will start utilizing your full potential and overcome procrastination. If you want this, type I want in the chat box. You'll increase your income. Is this you? You would like to increase your income? Type I in the chat box. You develop beautiful and meaningful relationships and communications. Type R in the chat box if this is you. You release your past baggage of failures, regrets, traumas, anxieties, and fears. If this is you, type R in the chat box. You become more aware and more impactful and more influential. If you want to impact and influence more people, type I in the chat box. You'll experience increased focus and productivity. Type F in the chat box if this is you. You attract bigger and better opportunities. Type O, big O in the chat box if you want bigger and better opportunities. You become an action taker. Type IA in the chat box if you want to become an action taker. You become a leader and negotiator. Type L in the chat box if you want to become a leader in your life. You bring confidence and ease in your personality. And you build consistency and power. How many of you would want this? Type I want in the chat box. Type I want in the chat box. Super, fantastic. Now, what happens in the 3 days live program? It's a live, immersive, and interactive workshop where on the day one itself, you saw the 5 patterns, right? We go into the 33 different patterns in these 3 days and we eliminate them. We release those deep-seated unresourceful patterns from your reptilian brain. We reset your unconscious expectation set points. So no more negotiating and settling in your life. Aim higher and settle for lesser is not going to happen in your life. You aim higher, you achieve higher. You automate success habits and behaviors. You learn powerful scientific tools and processes. You rewire your reticular activation system to achieve all your goals. You increase productivity and achieve extreme success and focus in this. And you manifest prosperity and abundance. How many of you would like to say yes to this? Type yes in the chat box. Fantastic. Okay, so now I'm going to share with you what we used to charge for this workshop before pandemic. So Ultimate Success Champion workshop, it was a 3-day live workshop which was happening in the hotels. So food cost, hotel cost, everything was costing at 29,999. So the total value of this program is 29,999. But when we came online, we realized that at online platform, we can offer so much more to you. So we came up with a great idea that when you take this 3-day program, we want to give you something for lifetime. So how many of you want some gifts? Not just working for 3 days, but you want to work on yourself for lifetime with this program. So how many of you would want gifts? Type gifts in the chat box if you're that person. Super awesome. So I'm not giving you 1 or 2 gifts, but I'm going to give you 12 gifts, which is completely complimentary. When you join Ultimate Success Champion, these gifts itself are more than 80,000 rupees, and they are going to be with you for the rest of your life. Do I have the permission to share a little bit about all these other programs that I'm offering you as a gift? Type P in the chat box if you give me permission. Quickly, I will tell you what all there in these programs. Thank you very much. So the first program that you get is Money Manifestation Blueprint. Who here wants to make more money? Type M in the chat box. Super. Okay, so Money Manifestation Blueprint is just the program that you need if you want to rewire your mindset, rewire your brain to attract more opportunities to make more money, active income and passive income. A lot of our students who have gone to this program have mentioned that they have got promotions, new jobs, crores of rupees of deals. They have invited investors in their businesses. Some of them also got jobs abroad. People were struggling to qualify for a government exam, and they also could qualify for that. We have got IAS, IPS officers in these programs who could crack those exams only because they went through this program. The second program, do you think this program is going to be useful for you? Type U in the chat box if it is useful. Thank you very much. The second one, Ultimate Success Blueprint. It's a 32 videos program. Okay, every video is created by me. And why 32 videos? So human beings have 8 areas of their life. Not just your career, health, money and relationships, but your time, your lifestyle, your physical environment. All of these are areas of your life that you need to work on. And we consciously don't focus on them. So Ultimate Success Blueprint is a program, step-by-step guide for you with my videos to help you to create that distinction and create the difference in every area of your life. So how will it be for you if you can, while you're focusing on your career, if your every other area also starts thriving? Will you live more holistic and happier life? Type yes in the chat box if you think this is useful for you. How many of you here would like to help people heal from their chronic illnesses? Do you have your parents or your spouse or someone in your life who's got diabetes, cardiovascular disorders, arthritis, and these things which you want to really help them to overcome? So Health and Healing is a program that is designed by me to help you help other people along with yourself. How many of you think this is great? Type G in the chat box if this is great. Awesome. How many of you want to overcome procrastination? How many of you want to infuse more love in your relationships, overcome your anxiety, career and success, clearing your fears, achieving all your goals and increase focus? You look at all of those programs there as a gift. These are all audio programs that are recorded in my voice. You just have to listen to them and it will start rewiring your reticular activation system to automatically help you overcome your problems. You don't have to work hard for it. I have already worked hard for you, and I'm going to give you the ready, easy solution for it. How many think this is exciting? Type exciting in the chat box. Fantastic. And then there is 2 more I'm going to give you. As I said, this is for your lifetime. I've covered all the problems that you've come up with. I've done a lot of research to give you what you need so that you can change your life in 3 to 6 months' time. So, how many of you are aware of the chakras in the body? There are 7 chakras in the body. Yeah? Awesome. So, everyday vibration elevation is an audio program that is created for you to align all your chakras, open them so that you can become an action taker every single day, having lots of fun and freedom in your life. And the second program that I'm going to give you here is sleep subconscious reprogramming. Sleep subconscious reprogramming is a program that helps you rewire your reticular activation system to make sure that when you wake up in the morning, you do not have the old patterns and belief system inside you. Now, all of this comes to you as a gift when you invest in Ultimate Success Champion. Now, I want to ask you something here. How many of you think these bonuses itself can change your life and make you a better person? Type I in the chat box. Yeah, awesome. Fantastic. Fantastic. But how many of you would want something more from me? Type GMM. Give me more. I'm going to give you something that nobody can give you. It's very, very difficult to give what I'm giving you right now. It requires a lot of bandwidth and a lot of preparation and a lot of support. And that support is this. For the rest of your life, you will have my support and coaches and team support. You can reach out to us. We don't stop at 3 days. We just begin at 3 days. When I promise you to hold your hand, I'm with you to hold your hand for the rest of your life. You get added into a WhatsApp group and you get added into my private Facebook group where there's a constant support given to you by me and my team. How many of you think this is priceless? I can't even put a price to it. Type priceless in the chat box. Thank you. Thank you. But who here is feeling that I really want this, I really need this, but I don't have 29,999 rupees? I get it. I understand it. We are on a mission to reach to every person in this country. And I know that 29,999 is difficult. The value that you will get is more than 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs. But what we want to do is we want to make it even more reasonable for you. Because you know we are on a mission right now. And we want to make sure that you take serious action and you take serious action right now. So you want a better price, type better price in the chat box. If you want a better price, type better price in the chat box. But when I give you the better price, I really want you to take action. I don't want your old patterns and reptilian brain to stop you. Because what I'm going to give you is a no-brainer, great deal. It's literally a free steal deal. So if you're ready to take this deal, take out your credit card, debit card, your Beam, UPI, Paytm, whichever you have, PayU money. And when you're ready, type ready in the chat box. Because when I give you the great price that I'm giving you, the great reasonable offer, my team will put the link in the chat box. And I want you to click on the link, make that payment, and come back and tell me that you made the payment. So I would personally invite you in this community of champions by taking your name. So I want you to make sure that you sign up, because this link, the discounted link is going to be open only for 10 minutes. So are you 100% ready to do it? Type ready in the chat box and let me give you the best offer that we can give you with all the gifts of more than 80,000. So Ultimate Success Champion, 3 days live workshop. Now just for 10 minutes, you will get it at 93% off, and you'll just have to pay 1,999 inclusive of all taxes and GST. So it is literally a free deal for rewiring your brain for the lifetime. An action taker will take it immediately. There's a link posted in the chat box. While you're making the payment, let me reiterate it to you what's going to happen in this program. You can select the dates that are given to you in the chat box or on the screen. You can choose the dates that you want. My team will approach you and you can connect with them. And what you're going to get into this is a payment process. So once you click on the link that is posted in the chat box, you give all your details and proceed to pay that money. Once you do that, this is the screen that you will see. And you can choose whichever way you want to make the payment, whichever bank you want to select, or maybe your Amazon Pay, Paytm, Bajaj Pay, MobiKwik, free recharge, anything, Airtel payment, etc. You can take that and you can make the payment. Let me tell you the entire process one more time. It's a 3-day live program, which is the dates are reflecting on the screen and in the chat box. You get 3 full days with me. Plus, you get a WhatsApp and a Facebook group with me. You also get the entire bonuses and the gifts for the rest of your life. You also get a certificate of excellence and a great deal of immersion and interaction in this program. So just go ahead, make that payment, come back and tell me. You'll also get the lifelong access to these bonuses. The activities you will learn and processes and techniques you will learn will be with you for the rest of your life. To not just change your life, but to change other people's lives too. The link is posted in the chat box. Go ahead, make that payment. Go ahead, make that payment. Come back and tell me. I will announce your name in a short period. Let me give you the honest truth about your life. Arjun can only be Arjun when he has Krishna with him. Not a single athlete or a high performance person you will ever see without a coach. People don't win World Cups and World Championships without a coach. But a person who plays in the gully, a cricket or a football, at gully level, does not need a coach. So which game do you want to play in your life? Do you want to play the game which will give you the success at world champions level? Or do you want to play the game which will give you the success at an ordinary level? What level of game do you want to play in your life? Make an informed decision based on what level of game would you like to play in your life. The link is posted in the chat box. Go ahead and make that payment. Let me tell you something here, okay? If you think this is expensive, I'll tell you something. This is a steal. You are investing that 2,000 in your life for yourself. The investment that you do in yourself is permanent. It gives you exponential growth. If you don't make that decision to change your life right now, it's not going to change on its own. And it's definitely not getting better on its own. It's only getting worse. It's not easy to do it on your own. So let me hold your hand and take you through the process and make you go through it. You have had enough of experiences of your life where you have been struggling and you did not get the success. Now, we have all the languages you choose. There is a classic saying. In Hindi, they say, "Doodh ka jala hua chhas bhi phuk kar pita hai." And in English, they say that, once bitten, twice shy. You hear from people, motivational speakers tell you, you learn from your experiences. Nobody learns from their experiences, especially the bitter experiences. You learn from experts. That's the shortest possible way to create your success. Think about how much time, money you're wasting already by staying stuck in your life. How much pain you're going through every single day by making those mistakes and not taking the right decisions. If you think this is expensive, let me tell you, it is very expensive if you don't do it. Because staying stuck in your life is way more expensive than investing in your life. Because when you are stuck in your life, your family also is stuck in their life. They don't get the success in their life because you are stuck in your life. So how long do you want to sit there? The link is posted in the chat box. Go ahead, make that payment. But I want to ask you this thing. If there is someone in your life who's struggling and who needs this money, and you're the only person who can help them, they probably are admitted in the hospital or they have to pay the school fees, otherwise their life will be in problem. What will you do? I'll tell you what will you do. When it comes to helping other people, you find the money. You find the time to help other people. That's the saddest truth about your life. Because you're a good person, you help other people. But that goodness, you don't show it for yourself. You don't invest in yourself, and that is the reason you're stuck in your life. If you want to sit on the sofa, drink beer, and watch Netflix, then this is not a program for you. But if there is a good, bigger person inside you and is wanting to come out and create this extraordinary life for self, then this is a program for you. And the program is designed in such a way that you can immerse with me. It's an interactive program. By the end of the third day, you will be sad that why this program is getting over. You will have so much fun together. And this entire program is going to help you chart the entire life, design your life, and create a solid foundation for you to change your life. There are so many people, those who have already done it in their life. What's stopping you? What is stopping you? Look at this lady. Hey, Sindhu Sridevi. I used to procrastinate a lot. Also, in spite of my efforts to stay calm and keep relationship with family smooth, always faced challenges and was unhappy. Even on career front, I felt stuck. After USC, I found a great reduction in my mental chattering. I was more energetic, happy, and positive. Even when I see some trigger, I release the emotion and to a great extent allow myself to go with the way of life. It was my dream to shift my house closer to office, and any big decision like that previously was an emotional drain. But this time it was smooth. I was very confident to pay off my home loan. I received an unexpected salary hike of 25%. Last 3 years, I was at 7% hike only. What is stopping you? Make sure that you go ahead and change your life. Welcome Srirang. Welcome Kashish. Welcome Vani. Welcome Abhinav. Welcome Shirisha. Welcome Ankita. Welcome Sakti Kumar, Viraj Mistry, Kunal Kale, Bobin, Akshay Kalyankar, Pooja Shah, Kiran H, Pradeep Rajput, Siddesh Sawan, Raja Manik Vikam, Lekha Kalyanpur, Sratish Nambiar, Ravi Kumar, Shivani Jaiswal, Shankar, Deepak Nikam, Bhavna Nagar, Jaishila K, Vinayak Bhanushali, Ayan Binoy, Sonia, Shilpa Jain, Suresh Adari, Anu Nituru, Sanjay Ravindarkar, Rajendra Singh Rao, and so many more of you. I'll announce your names shortly. I just want to tell you one thing. Congratulations. And this is the best decision of your life. Your life is never going to be the same after this program. This is one of the best decisions that you made in your life, and you'll be super proud of yourself for making this decision. See, the time is ticking, so make sure that you take that decision right now. If you're finding difficult to make the payment, there's a number reflecting in your chat box. Send a WhatsApp message on this number and get on to the journey immediately. My team will help you to sign up. Look at Ketan Mhatre. The problem I was facing was procrastination, fear, self-doubt, and lack of confidence. I'm now very calm, relaxed, learn to love myself, take decisions with confidence and without self doubt. My mindset has changed from I can't do it to I can do it. Previously, I was only thinking but was not taking action. Now I'm an action taker and achiever. I got a salary hike of 40%. I also started my own business as a side hustle and able to manage both my job and my business. Thanks to Dr. Meghna and the whole D Mantra team, they will get you out of all the blocks, fears, self doubt, and will connect and align you with the universe and increase your vibrations to receive what you want. What are you waiting for? Just go ahead, make that payment. Suraj Gowda, I've been facing issues in my career and relationships. Mostly, I'm having patterns of indiscipline, laziness, procrastination, negative self talk, and criticism. Stuck in life since 4 years, not moving ahead, where I desire myself to be. I joined the program to learn how to get out of this vicious circle that I'm trapped in because of my habits. The results that he got is the first change which happened in me was on the day one itself. I quit smoking, and it's been over 5 years, over 300 days since then. I have never touched it. I'm surprised and shocked in a happy way because I had been a smoker for a decade. I tried to quit smoking for the last 5 years with more than 30-40 attempts, but failed. Now every day has been an aha moment. I've never been this happy. Every single day is so energetic and so lively. This program is taking an elevator to your dreams rather than walking the stairs and waste many years of your life. Please go ahead and make that payment. There are thousands of success stories like that. Anita Shirsat. The problem I was facing was despite all my efforts to crack competitive exams, my name would always remain in the waiting list. I would miss the selection by very few marks. This continuous failure was affecting my emotional level. I would take long time to come out of negative emotions and thinking pattern. I'd lost my confidence. After attending USC, I came to know why this is happening again and again. This program helped me develop champion mindset within few months, and I cracked management CET exam. I got one of the best college in Mumbai. It was my dream college. I got my confidence back. The techniques helped me to understand my emotions and thinking pattern and how to come out of it. I strongly recommend this program if anybody wants to heal their life, to move towards success journey, to experience happiness on daily basis, to meet new and best version of yourself. Guys, just go ahead, make that payment. This is the best decision of your life, and your life is never going to be the same. If you think you need to discuss it with someone, let me tell you something. How often does this happen in your life that you discuss things with people in your life and people dissuaded you? They didn't allow you to take that action, take that decision, and you still regret about it. When you look back on your life, you feel that only I wish if I have done that, my life would have been different today. Sometimes you got to make some independent decisions. You got to find that time, you got to find that money for yourself. Your loved ones sometimes stop you because either they don't understand the bigger vision that you have, or they want to stay where they are because everybody loves their misery and the misery loves company. You changing means they will have to change too, and nobody loves change. So don't think that people will help you, support you if you do these things. Don't do that. You're going to only waste your time. Some decisions have to be made on your own. Think about it. The decision that you made, you came for this class, the knowledge and the insights that you got today. Think about if you had got these insights 10 years back, how would your life be today? Your life would be different, right, today, if you would have made that decision 10 years back. How long do you want to make that, wait for the next decision to take? The last time to plant the tree was 10 years back. But when is the next time? It's right now. Successful people take immediate action. They take quick decisions, and most importantly, they get it done by taking out time for their growth. If this is important for you to give best life to your family and to yourself, nurture them, support them, and live your best version, leave legacy, then just go ahead. Click on the link and sign up. 10 minutes have gotten over, but my team is requesting that some of you are not able to sign up due to network issues, etc. So I have asked the team to keep the link open for some time. Till then, let me announce a few more people's names. Dipali Yadav, Harati, Ratna Jaiswal, Rohan Anand, Gokul GS, Nidhi Nair, Anjan, Prasant KP, Babu Menon, Kavya Upadhyay, Sarvanan Palanyappan, Vigneswaran, Romeo Drosario, Vishal Dikshit, Millie Chakravarti, Lakshna S, Manohar Yadav, Pallavi, Amit Jain, Srinath Padmanabhan, Ton IC, Hari Kiran Yadav. Congratulations, each one of you. Your life is never going to be the same after this program. So just go ahead and make that payment. Anand Jilevar, he did this program in July first week, and he's following all the techniques provided in the 3 days. So I really want to thank you for such a wonderful course. It elevated my confidence level. Also, it has removed compromise and comparison words from my life. Initially, I was not able to do the take actions, but with little hope and little actions, it resulted in 105% hike in my salary in my new job. Also, now I know my self-worth. I have deleted most of my fears, and now I am the gatekeeper of my own thoughts. Also, it has given me good self-control, and now I decide what enters in my mind and what does not enter. I suggest that everyone should do this course at least once. It will change your life by 360 degrees. What are you waiting for? Just go ahead, make that payment. Don't stop yourself today. But let me tell you the reasons you should not join this program. This is maybe not right for you. If you don't want to make a lot of money in short period of time, if you're someone who doesn't want to have followers and raving fans, if you're someone who doesn't want to influence and impact more people, if you feel that you don't want to be celebrated in the rooms that you are in, if you're someone who doesn't want people to talk good about you, appreciate you behind your back too, if you doesn't want effortless journey, if you don't want to be unforgettable in your life, if you don't want beautiful relationships, if you don't want to discover your passion and your purpose, if you don't want more opportunities, then don't come for the program. But if you want any of this, then you don't want to lose any more time. You just want to come for this program. So quickly click on the link and sign up. Now see, you may not have money. You can create money. If you think that you may not have time, I'm 100% sure you'll be able to create that time, because you're not the first person who's done this program. I know it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and a lot of people in the job and the businesses. But I want to ask you this. You own your time, or your job and your business owns your time? And it is such a shame if your job and your business owns your time. Is it really the life that you're living, or you're just slogging like a donkey? No, I'm not calling you a donkey. Please don't feel bad about it. I'm just saying I was in that same situation. I was working 365 days in my life and was not able to give time to my family. And I know the pain of it. I was not able to rest. I was not able to enjoy my life. And I know the pain of it. It's only you and your one decision that can change that for yourself. If you don't know what you want in your life, it's even better, because this program will help you for that. Don't stop yourself today. The things that I taught you today, if you work on them, your life will change. But unfortunately, it takes a hell lot of energy, efforts, and a lot of inspiration and motivation to do this on your own. And most people are stuck because of that. You're not stuck because you're not smart. You're very smart. That's why you're here. You're stuck because you're not able to take that action. And this program exactly helps you in that direction. So don't wait today. Just sign up. And if you're someone who wants to know how to make the payment by EMI, let me share that also with you. Okay? Once you click on the link, give your all details. This is the payment process. If you want an EMI option, you go next and you choose your bank like this. You'll get a credit card EMI option. You can choose your bank and you can choose the EMI option of 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, 18 months, 24 months. So you can choose this option. You don't have to worry today. You don't have to wait today for that money to come to you. Okay, so just go ahead, make that payment. Look at this girl, Varsha Verma. She's a HR head. And she came for this program and she was jobless. I was clueless where I have to go in life. I faced 3 breakups in marriage proposals. I was not getting supportive environment in workplace. I was frustrated and irritated all the time with no inner peace. I used to think very negative about myself. The results that she got is this program deleted compromise word from my vocabulary. I have fallen in love with this new version of me. I got job immediately. It was like a miracle. Earlier, I was taking interviews for 15-20 lakhs salary bracket, and now I'm taking for 80 lakhs plus. Earlier, I could not write or talk in English, and now I'm super confident. Breakthroughs are happening with me every day, with every moment. And today, I'm happily married. My mother tells me, "Ye kya ho gaya hai tumko?" And I always reply, "It's the magic of the mantra." Dr. Meghna. Now, she understands something. It's not my magic. She actually unleashed her magic with this program, and you can do it too. So don't stop yourself today. The link is still on. Click on the link and make that payment. Let me announce a few more people's name here. Vikram Israni, Sundara Krishnan, Vana Kavita, S.S. Bhamre, Vinod Joseph, Sanjay Rastogi, Sai Chandrasekhar, Sanket, Piyush Sharma, Prakash, Ritesh Kumar, Upasna Kumari, Vivek Kumar Srivastav, Sakti Kumar, Deepika Ganesan, Sunita Nathan, Sumit K, Lakshmi, Santrupti, Naveen Kapli, Lakshmi, congratulations. This is the best decision of your life, and your life is never going to be the same. In fact, I would say that, when you're attending this program, make sure that you also can get your family members to attend with you. In the same screen, same room, you all can go into this evolution process. Now, I'm going to take some questions here, and I'm going to answer those questions. So, first question is, I have a lot of emotional baggage. Will it help me? Absolutely, yes. And the program is designed in such a way to remove your past emotional blockages or the past event that have happened in your life that has created that chemical poison in your body that is stuck inside and that's creating problems. We're going to throw it all out. Will it help in health and healing? Absolutely, it will. There are tools and techniques given to you for the same. I've also given you the bonus for health and healing. Will it help me in my career? Absolutely. You know that only 10% of the people in any industry get paid highest. And it is not just their skills, but it is who they are, right? Skills are one part, and who they are, their attitude and their ability to learn and willingness to change makes them that 10% in that industry. This program totally focuses on pushing you into that 10% of your industry so that you can start making more money and get advanced in your career, rise the ladder of your success. How will it help me in my business particularly? Okay, so I'm a business owner. I can tell you this. In business, there are so many micro decisions that impact your macro result, the big results, right? And who makes those micro decisions? You as a business owner. And your decisions are based on your perception. Your business growth is directly related to your personal growth. So the more you grow, the more your business and profits will grow. So this is a program that helps you grow as an entrepreneur so that you can create massive results in your business. If your vision is narrow, your business is going to be narrow. If your vision is expanded, you're going to achieve all your business goals. So, how will it help me in my business? Absolutely, it will. There are tools and techniques given to you for the same. I've also given you the bonus for health and healing. Will it help me in my career? Absolutely, yes. You know that only 10% of the people in any industry get paid highest. And it is not just their skills, but it is who they are, right? Yeah, so quickly click on the link and sign up. Don't stop yourself today. Look at Jeevan Peter. Okay, this guy came to us in April. Okay, and Meghna ma'am, hope you're doing well. Just wanted to share about something that happened to me. I got a great hike this year. My salary went from 3.2 lakhs to 7 lakhs per annum. Thank you so much for making me believe in myself. When attending USC, something like this was not even in my dreams. So, what are your dreams that are not even coming in your dreams? Let's complete them. Let's fulfill them unconsciously. Let's put you on the autopilot of success. Will it help me to get more opportunity? Absolutely, yes. I've been saying this again and again. You don't get opportunities because you don't see the opportunity with two eyes. You see the opportunities through your reticular activation system, the perception filter. And you see, when you work on this program, you start seeing the invisible opportunities for you now, because that's where we are heading towards creating that rewiring in your brain, in your space. Can I attend with my wife and family? Of course, I already said that. Get your children too. So everybody, please come with your family, your children together. You attend. A lot of families attend this together, and I see so much difference in the people's life, and it is really, really heartwarming to see how people have changed their lives. So this is the best decision of your life. Just go ahead, make that payment. Okay. I'm a student. Will it help me? Yes, absolutely yes. But you have to be 18 years plus to go through this program. This doesn't just help you to pass your exam. Maybe that's your immediate goal, but why you want to pass or why you want to have good marks? Because you want to create a better life for yourself, right? So we have so many students who have created competitive exams with flying colors. They're now in the government jobs and all of those things. Those who are struggling, those who you saw so many CAs have qualified. So many doctors come to us. So many engineers come to us. So yes, it will help you. But making sure that you have a bigger perspective that this program is preparing you for your life, not just for your exams. Yeah, good. Sign up. Will I get over my confusion and procrastination? Absolutely, because that's our specialty. So you will become an action taker by the end of the 3 days. You'll have much needed clarity about your vision, your decision making will become stronger, and it will also sharpen your intuitions. So, yes, it will definitely help you to get to that point. EMI option is also shared with you. If you do not understand how to make the EMI payment, you can connect with a number that is shared on the screen with you or in the chat box. If you need more time, do let us know so that we can save your seat at this price. So we need your name that on the WhatsApp that, okay, give me time by the end of the day or by tomorrow, I will make the payment. We will save your seat. Okay, look at Vandana Chandar. She's an art teacher. I came to Dr. Meghna with low self-esteem, emotionally weak, poor relationship with family, financial problems. Since my childhood, my mom had been telling me that she didn't want me. As a child, I was told I can't do anything. I'm not beautiful, I'm dumb. With all such patterns, I grew up into a less confident and negative person. I lost my father, my only support. It shattered me completely. I was feeling suicidal. I was researching on ways to foolproof suicide, and I came across Dr. Meghna's video. I joined her workshop. That was the turning point. It was the best decision of my life. Dr. Meghna saved my life. I released my patterns. I became a proactive. My health improved. I mended my relationships with family. Now I'm always happy, live every moment of my life. I started exploring my talents in the form of arts and blogs, and I started making side income through my art, and my income tripled within 6 months. I'm free from all the grudges, all the negativity. Thank you, Doctor, so much, Dr. Meghna. You're an angel in human form on earth. Love you lots, ma'am. What is stopping you? Just go ahead, make that payment. Don't stop yourself today. Any problems, any challenges, any question you have, put it in the chat box and I will answer your question. My team is already answering your question, so just put it in the chat box. Will it help me in self-image and confidence? Absolutely, much more than self-image and confidence. Self-image and confidence are a very basic thing. You'll have so much more than that you will see that will be able to take bigger and better decisions for yourself. You will be able to predict the consequences of your decisions. Based on that, you will be able to attract great opportunities, attract great relationships and connections that will start building a better life for you. So yes, it will help you. Don't hesitate today. Just go ahead, make that payment. Will my emotional trauma heal? Yes, there are specific processes we do to heal your emotional trauma, your emotional wounds. And we help you get over your grief and loss so that you free yourself, your energy to put into more achieving better quality goals in your life rather than staying stuck in your life. It will change your habits big time. It will create the new neuro pathways to be new successful version of you. Create the new successful habits in your life. Overcoming old habits and becoming a new version of yourself. There are so many people, those who have quit smoking on the day one of Ultimate Success Champion. Imagine if somebody can quit smoking, what other things can happen in this program. I'm always confused, what can I do? But the more you stay confused, the more it's going to drag you down. In confusion, always take action. In this case, what is action available to you? Click on the link, sign up, attend the workshop, and you will get more clarity. The moment you have clarity, there is no confusion. Confusion only comes when you lack clarity. I've seen patterns running in my family. My grandfather had lost all his money. My father also lost it, and now I fear I will too. I get it. Okay. I was stuck in so many patterns like that were generational patterns. The patterns in our family run through our DNA. And there is a science, the stream of medical science, which is called as epigenetics. Epigenetic talks about beyond genes, how to go beyond your DNA patterns. So what it talks about is, your beliefs and your thoughts can change and alter your DNA by altering the behaviors and in turn altering your results. I'm an Ayurvedic doctor, and Ayurveda also mentions the impact of mind on the DNA and the body. So the moment we go through this program, the first target we do is to transform your internal space, what's happening in your life. If there is any more question you have, put it in the chat box. I will answer your question. I procrastinate a lot. Please help me resolve it. That's the whole point about it, Suraj. We are doing this program for that only. The program is designed in such a way that it will help you to overcome procrastination. I have developed the addiction of smoking for the last 2 years. I want to quit it as it has started affecting my mental and physical health, but I'm not able to quit because my husband is a chain smoker. So I crave it and end up smoking. Help me quit it. Definitely, Shalija. Now, I just want to tell you this, Shalija, that I understand the challenge because there's a constant smell around you. So it becomes very difficult. And I'm not going to say that it's going to be very easy for you to quit smoking at this point of time. But when you start with the process and when you start working, we have people in our programs those who have quit smoking in spite of their environment was filled with smokers. So yes, it will help you. Take that action and go ahead and sign up. If there is any more question, you can ask my team. You can ask my, me, and I'm here to answer your questions. Beyond that, I want to share with you one small story because in another 5 minutes, I'll wrap up this session. Okay. So you have 5 minutes if you have any more questions to ask. So there's this, story that I heard about a professor. So this professor wanted to teach a lesson to his students. So what he does is he takes a pan, cold water pan, gas, and a frog to the class. He puts the cold water pan on the gas and starts the flame at the very slow flame, and puts the frog into the water. The water is cold, right? The frog loves cold water. How much frog loves, right, water? And frogs enjoys his swim in the water. Here, the temperature of the water starts increasing because the gas is on. it becomes 5 degrees. Now the water from from very cold becomes little, room temperature. And the frog is very happy. Wow, this is amazing. The water is also perfect temperature now. I'm really enjoying. And the water, he's swimming in the water. Everybody is watching him swim. The temperature goes to 10 degrees, 15 degrees, 20 degrees. And the frog has a tendency, you learned this in school, the frog has a tendency to change its body temperature based on the temperature in the environment, right? So this frog also keeps, increasing its body temperature to adjust with the water temperature. By the time the temperature of the water becomes 15, the frog gets tired of increasing its temperature, and in that tiredness, fatigue, he goes to sleep in that warm water. Here the temperature keeps increasing. The frog doesn't realize it. And as the temperature keeps increasing, now suddenly frog realizes that the water has started boiling and now wants to jump out of the water. But the frog had lost all its energy adjusting to the temperature of the water. So he did not have any more energy left for him to jump out of the boiling water. And this frog died in that boiling water. The professor asked the students, who killed the frog? Who killed the frog? Exactly, frog himself. How did frog kill himself? By not taking the decision to jump out of that warm water on the right time. Human beings and frog have this one thing common. Frog was waiting for the water to go back to normal temperature, and you are probably waiting to things to become normal for you. You see, you're adjusting with the troubles, little troubles in your life right now, but you're not realizing that the little troubles will eventually turn into very big troubles. So it's a high time that you take that action. Look, if you're here with me, maybe you're here for that workbook that I promised you. You will get it. Okay? But if you're here because you resonate with me, you trust me, and you feel that I spoke from my heart, I have a proven track record that has changed people's lives and my life. I'm going to help you to do the same. If you resonate with me, you trust me as a teacher, but you're still not able to sign up, put your hand on your heart and ask yourself, what's stopping you? Maybe what's stopping you that is resistance inside. Or maybe you feel that, I can trust her, but I can't trust myself. So don't do that to yourself today. You got to be courageous, bold to take that action. And that's where you'll start changing your life. The resistance will not help you to change your life. Reaction, taking action will help you to change your life. So make sure that you take that action. If not with me, take it with somebody else. It's okay to take that action with some other teacher also, if that works for you. Nobody has achieved success on their own. You've not even learned to walk and talk on your own. You needed help from other people. So how can you achieve success on your own? Think about it. If it's not me as your teacher, then find another teacher. But make sure you do that. And if you resonate with me, make sure that you sign up. You need more time. You can tell my team to save the seat for you, and you will make the payment in some time. If you want to stay connected with me on my social media, I'm just going to give you the social media link right now of my YouTube, Dr. Meghna Dikshit. You can subscribe and hit the bell icon on my YouTube to receive 2 fresh videos on brain rewiring every single week. You can also go on Instagram and follow me on Instagram, follow Success Gyan on Instagram, so you're not alone in this journey of transformation. Now I'm going to close the meeting in 1 minute. So is there anyone here who wants to ask any question? My team is here to answer your questions. If you still need more time, make sure that you send a message on that number. If you are waiting, we are not creating. So make sure that to create, you take action. And with that final quote, I'm going to close this meeting. I'm going to leave this meeting. I hope you have saved the number of my team for future coordination. Those of you who have signed up for the program, congratulations. Welcome on this journey. And this is going to be the best decision of your life. Your life is never going to be the same after this program. And I'm here with you as your teacher, as your coach, to hold your hand for the rest of your life. And I look forward to create massive results in your life, massive success on autopilot. God bless you. See you around very soon. Sending you lots of love, lots of blessings from my heart to yours, and extremely grateful to be part of your journey in even a smallest little possible way. Lots of love. Great time ahead.